From the plateaus of the Castellet to the rolling hills of West Kingsdown, the Octane Online Racing North American Sprint Series finds its Week 3 home here at Brands Hatch. Hello, everybody. My name is Nick Amon, and I am joined alongside, once again, Nathan Villalonga. Nate, how are we doing this evening?
I am good. I am excited for this race, and yeah.
We did not have a race last week, as it was the 12 hours of Bathurst, where we saw a back-to-back win. I forget the team. I was looking at it literally a second ago, but we had a back-to-back win for the team. Who is it? Oh God, I just saw it. Alpha Venturi 616. Or no, sorry, that's P3. P1 of AV Maximum Pace with Zachary Smith, Zachary James, Matthew Pignata, and Daniel Hunter. So congrats to them for the back-to-back. And speaking of special events, the next race, the next big event for OOR has been announced. It is going to be the 12 hours of Spa, so we'll be excited to see that. Are you going to compete in that, Nate, or are you going to sit this one out?
I'm fortunately going to be sitting this one out because I don't like Spa, to be honest. But how about you? Are you gonna join?
You know what? I might. I'm thinking about it, because, I mean, I love Spa. It's my baby, you know. She's been nice to me. I've been nice to her. So that'll be mid-April, so I'll probably hop in there.
Okay. I'm gonna be rooting for you then. I'm excited.
All right, we'll have to see, though, how that all goes. I got to get a team together. But we're here in qualifying. I'm not in-game right now. Unfortunately, my game decided to have corrupted files, so I'm fixing that. But, yeah, Brands Hatch here. Honestly, I would prefer Brands Hatch over Silverstone. I don't know what it is. It's like, it feels like kind of small but cozy, and I like that. And Silverstone is just a little too wide for me. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel.
No, that's not. I mean, I respect your view about it, but I mean, this is Brands Hatch. This is one of the most, the worst tracks for overtaking. And it's fun to drive. It's very fulfilling in terms of, fulfilling just to finish a lap, and a very good lap at that. But yeah, this is so unforgiving in terms of, runoffs and whatnot. If you put your tires in the grass or any part of your car, you're going to spin, or, yeah, you're just going to destroy your lap.
Yeah, that is true, but I feel like, obviously, like you said, it's hard to overtake, so qualifying is going to be very, very important for these drivers. This will be a super sprint evening, so we will have 2 races. So we'll have the first one, and then they'll do the reverse grid. And it looks as though our third commentator, Mr. Casey Gold, has joined us. Casey, how are you doing this evening?
Hey there, I'm doing all right, thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. So, were you in the 12-hour? I thought you were. You might have been in the booth. I don't remember. You're gonna have to jog my old man memory.
Well, I tried my best to get in the booth, but weekend kind of got out of control, out of my hands, so I ended up missing the couple slots I had booked there, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to join in on the fun. It's hard with them time zones.
Yeah, that's true. I was excited to have you pop in to the booth, and have a little bit of a power duo going on, along with the Australian commentators. I will say, though, even though I was only in the booth for an hour, I did have a lot of fun just chatting with all the guys. It was kind of nice to mix and mingle with not drivers, but commentators from the other regions, because let's be real, how often do we get to actually converse with the commentators from AP or EU?
Yeah, not very often. Yeah, I'm glad you were there, though, and able to enjoy the show. I know we had a good turnout and a great viewership, so that was well done for the 12 hours of Bathurst. Pretty awesome event here at the OOR.
Yeah, we do have a couple drivers here who are also at that race who are competing as well. I forget keybinds, so I can pull up. There it is. I got the proper screen. It usually takes me a second. I believe Jeff Spangler was there. I think I saw his name pop up. I think it was car 676, so I kept an eye out for him. I know there was a few other people here in Blue Split, and I also believe in Red Split as well. I'm going to have to jog my own memory, but I don't remember off the top of my head, but we got the qualifying times getting through here. Thomas Pierce currently on top with a 1:24.3. Excuse me. And then Dornelis with a 24.5, it looks like, and then Walker making that top three, still inside that 2:24 time, or the 1:24 time, and then Landry is the only driver so far of those top three who hasn't made the 24 barrier, but we'll have to see. There's still 2.5 minutes to go here in qualifying. Casey, I did ask Nathan, and I will ask you, what are your thoughts on Brands Hatch?
I actually enjoy the track a lot. Once you get into a rhythm after a few laps, you kind of start nailing the corners well. It is a bit tricky. It's really hard to overtake here, and we saw in EU earlier today a lot of penalties with drivers hitting and door banging. So it should be an entertaining race to say the least. But here, I think the guys in qualifying lucked out with having the only 8 minutes here. It looks like it's going to get rainy, and I hope the race is dry, but you never know. It's looking pretty dark.
Well, we'll have to see here. Ryan Yee currently sitting position 4 on the grid, just ran a 24.8. Was last week's winner for North American Blue Split at Paul Ricard. And to speak on that, we had that incident at the end of the race in Red Split. Dornelis, or not Dornelis, sorry, I got my drivers mixed up. Gulzar was able to walk away with that win following the incident. The stewards ruled that there was nothing wrong in terms of dirty driving, just more of a driver incident. So we'll be looking to see if Gulzar can repeat his win along with Ryan Yee. This looks like Ducky, aka the Spangler boy, says 676 Convicts and Colonials. That's like one of the best names. We talked about it in the booth. Are there any names that you two have seen in any capacity here in ACC or just any racing game in general? Are there any janky or weird team names that you guys have seen?
We got quite a few. I know of a team named Sausage Curb Racing. That one's pretty good.
Nathan, what about you?
I mean, I haven't seen like one of like the jankiest name that I've seen, but I mean some of the names in what you call this in the 12-hour the brake check team. I don't know the complete name, but yeah, that's pretty. It's a good name for me. It's not jank, but I mean the pun is like, yeah, I'm feeling the pun, really feeling it.
They're putting us on the spot there. I couldn't think of anything good. I know some good ones that I've seen over the years, and some guys have some really funny. Oh, actually, one team that I raced with was STD, and because their names were, I believe, Tim and Dan and Sosa, and it was pretty funny that they had STD Racing.
That's definitely a team that you don't want to catch up to again, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
I do have to give a huge shout out, Austin Carpenter, though, car 883 with My Waifu Made Me Do It in the hot pink Aston. That is definitely a good team name. Ryan Yee back markers. That is definitely not the most truthful team name. He's very much at the front. Justin Friesen, Knucklehead Racing. So yeah, we got some good ones here. Partially Phenomenal from Taki's Weeks. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you're talking a team setting or just regular everyday old racing with your pub strangers. We got some good names here, but we get to the end of qualifying. Pierce though, still on top of the timing sheets, a 1:24.0, so he's incredibly close to getting to that 23 mark. So we'll see if maybe he can break that during the race. Dornelis still with second place. Ryan Yee third. Not Ryan Walker. Walker though fourth, and Flomger fifth for your top 5. Landry, Alvarado, Spangler, Kogan, and Carpenter make up your top 10. But here we go, lining up on the grid for a wet track start in 10 minutes. Oh, never mind. I was going to say 10 minutes have some rain, but the weather forecast says otherwise. So looking at this race, looking at this starting grid here, you've got Pierce on top, Dornelis behind, Ryan Yee sitting in that third slot. So I think what we'll see is probably those three maybe break away from the pack and start their own battles. And we see, we see the magic of these cars able to stand on their own without the air hose going in. It just shows you the camber of this straight. You know, we're so used to seeing tracks that are just nice and flat straights, but here at Brands Hatch, well, we don't really get that. It's tilted to the right, so depending on where you are, I feel like you can actually get a little bit more speed out of it.
Yeah, I think you can really use the camber, but I'm pretty surprised about the Hondas right now. I mean, I don't know if they made a mistake, like the drivers like Kenneth Portis and Nicholas Alvarado, but clearly they're struggling in the Honda right now, and you can see that the Ferraris and the McLarens are quite at the top of the grid for this race.
Yeah, it's true. I think their race pace may come into their own here, and those two drivers in particular in the Hondas are quite good with their overall race strategy. So I think it should be interesting. I don't think their qualifying position is really going to affect them too badly here tonight, but I could be wrong.
We'll just have to wait and see here as we get ready for the safety car to roll away here. Looking at chat, though, real quick. Rugus, hello. Says, hello, America. We may not be in America for the race, but, well, I'm certainly here. Casey is here. Nathan joining us from the Philippines. Is that correct, if I get that right?
Yes, man. I am from the Philippines, Manila.
On the other side of the world and still having time to make these races. You love to see it. Brands Hatch, great MX5 track. Yep, that is 100% correct there, Ducky. Just waiting on the Thunderstorm race start. Well, not this start, unfortunately, Tyler, but you never know. We could have a thunderstorm or just some rain here. It is England, after all. I don't know about you guys, but I think they kind of just rain a lot. I don't know. They usually have, like, what, 3 minutes of sunshine, and then it's back to, at the very least, very cloudy skies?
Yes. So it's kind of interesting here. The track went to damp conditions just after they rolled off the line. So I don't know. It's a 30-minute race here. I don't know if there's going to be pit stops depending on how hot these wet tires are going to start getting, unless these guys are on dries. As you can see, the safety car there, no TC, and that Maserati having a little bit of traction issues there in that corner, but saved it well and on his way now safely.
Yeah, I don't really know the strategy for this if the track is damp, but I've seen the pro drivers been using dry tires for a damp track. But I mean, yeah, it's not that wet, but I think it's gonna dry up pretty quickly if it doesn't rain after 10 minutes.
Well, we'll have to see. Thankfully, the safety car does not have to race this evening. Anubis saying, I'm from the UK. That's not true. We get good summers. I don't know if I'm not gonna try to, test that theory. Not from England, but you know what? I'll take your word for it. England's favorite color is damp. I guess so. We're just joining us from Australia. Good afternoon. I believe you guys are probably just past noon here, as these drivers lining up 2 by 2 for the first race here at Brands Hatch. It's Thomas Pierce on pole position with Renato Dornelis joining him on that front row. Ryan Walker and Ryan Yee, both of our Ryans, getting that second row. And then it's going to be 2 more McLarens, Michael Landry and Timothy Flomger, that third row. But ladies and gentlemen, here we go for the first race of Week 3, North American Blue Split. They are crawling towards the line here, waiting for that green flag to drop. They are ready to go. It's been 2 weeks for these drivers. They want to get back into competition. They've waited long enough. They roll over, and we are green, green, green for the start of race 1 here. Ryan Yee, and not getting the best start there. Pierce and Dornell starting to peel away a bit. Walker Flomger joining suit. Landry as well. We see Alvarado go down the inside there of the McLaren as they go through turn 1 very nicely. Not a lot of problems when we go up here to turn 2 to Druids. This is where you're going to see a lot of issues here, especially in pubs. So far, so good for all of the drivers here. Everybody getting through very nicely down into turn 3. Now, this is sort of a tricky corner as we actually see the Porsche of Renato Dornelis go down the inside of the Ferrari there. And that's also going to give Ryan Walker a position. So that is the I believe, the pole sitter, losing 2 more positions as they begin to fall back. But Renato Dornelis getting the best of this start, going up from the second row up into the first. So he's going to start peeling away in that Porsche. He's already building a gap. We got a little group here forming. Spangler, Alvarado, and Flomger. and it's going to be down the inside. It goes, Spangler gets bumped off. It's Alvarado who gains position, as well as Flomger. Spangler losing out, but not giving up quite yet. He goes a bit wide, and that's going to be another position lost. Austin Carpenter going down the inside, and it looks as though Voisin going for something, and it's Spangler off. He's going off at Sheen Corner, one of the most difficult corners on this track, but other than that, it looks like everybody's getting along nicely. A very clean opening lap here.
Yeah, honestly, that was quite a clean race for a clean first lap for a very elbow out drivers. But I mean, you can see a lot of people losing out in the first lap. Like Tommy Koga lost a lot of places, and just Nicholas Alvarado gaining those places. Again, I was so surprised about where he was really placing the car. I mean, I think he just wants to win tonight.
Yes,
see,
for sure.
They're still young. Casey, go ahead.
Fellow Honda there, Kenneth Portis gaining a lot of positions by just driving safe and cautious through that. So we got a bit of a spin on the Nissan, but he saves it, keeps on track, loses out the position though to Tommy Kogan. They're having a little issue with this damp conditions here as two cars go up the inside to him, coming up to the long straight stretch here.
I think Tommy Kogan, I believe, is running wet tires. I think so. I could be wrong. I think some of these drivers have opted for wet tires and then maybe didn't change back in time, so they're going to be on those wet tires until they can get into the pits. The sun, though, is starting to come out. You may notice some shadows being cast off these cars here, so not only will this damp track have several sets of wheels cleaning it off, they will also have the sun to work with as we get later on in this race. Tracks will dry and maybe wet tires will get swapped out for nice and slick ones. As we right on board here with Jeff Spangler, who is down the, or not down the inside, but very close there to Frizza. We saw Spangler going wide at Sheen Corner and losing a ton of positions, so now he has got quite a lot of work to do here as this race goes on. Still a very, very young race. Anything can happen there. We hop up with Tommy Kogan, who gives us a nice little overview for Cherry Blossom Waifu. What a lovely team name, as he's trying to gain some positions here. You guys said that he did lose positions, but it's Alvarado right now trying to hunt down Ryan Yee for that 4th place, and just up ahead it's going to be Thomas Pierce, your pole sitter, P3.
Yeah, there's a bit of sun you can see coming in here. I was just going to mention there that Spangler had a bit of a moment there, but he's just trying to settle back into this race. It's I know it's a short race, but he still have time. He just needs to get into a rhythm there, and he can hopefully continue and get back to where he started here. But Ryan Yee having to defend from Alvarado behind, but Pierce right there as well. So two Ferraris trying to pull away from the Honda, but there it's a tight battle here for P3.
Yeah, I also noticed that Renato Dornelis lost a place from Walker. Now Walker is 1.5 seconds ahead of Dornelis. Something happened with the Porsche.
Yes,
also
Ryan Walker definitely okay. Backing down is going to take advantage of any mistake there. We got speeding off the start there for a car there. Unfortunate, but luckily we have live stewards here to not give a drive through if that happens. Perfect. Let's see what they can do.
I get a 10-second and a drive-through. It is interesting, though. You did say Ryan Walker getting around Brunellis and just pulling away. He does have fastest lap, though, a 29.6. That'll obviously come down as time goes on. Thomas Pierce, though, that rear wing, getting us a nice, lovely view of the Ferrari behind, and Alvarado just peeking in for a bit of a cameo here as they go charging up this hill. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the track, just because, I mean, you're going flat out for a while. You go down, you go right back up, and we do have a 5-second penalty for a collision for car 710. That's going to be Mike Landry, currently sitting P19, and he's actually falling down the order to P23, so that's very interesting. I'm trying to think what happened there. He has lost several positions, so what's going from, unfortunately, bad to worse for him this evening, but not too much to worry about. We still have another race after this, so perhaps he can pick up more points here in the race.
Yeah,
I
the
think
key for
he
him is.
spun in. Yeah, so go, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nick was. He was just gonna say there that he spun there.
Ooh, Voisin almost taking out another driver. I think some of these drivers are getting caught out by the slippery conditions. You can actually see where the track is most dry. You notice that light patch in between the darkness. So I'm guessing some drivers getting a little bit wide there on the exit though. So that's probably what's causing a lot of these Voisin falling way down from 12th to 22nd. So that is definitely not good. We have another penalty. Car 36 causing a collision. That is Philbin, currently running P17, so he'll be looking to try to get some points back with this. Dave Hasser, though, in the Lamborghini. I gotta say, that is a very nice looking Lamborghini. I don't know what it is, but that livery with those colors is just chef's kiss beautiful.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it looks pretty good on the track here. Getting really tight here and battling, as you said there. The dry line is starting to form here as the track has gotten to greasy conditions here. With the sun poking out more, that's going to just become more prevalent, and we'll see if anyone needs to pit to change off those wet tires if they did take that.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but a greasy track is one of the worst feeling, like grip feeling tracks in all of the classifications of grip in ACC. It doesn't feel good. It's slippery, but you get like a hint of grip sometimes. But yeah, it's so unpredictable in this greasy type of track right now.
Yes,
I'd have to agree with that. Especially anybody who works in maybe food service and maybe or maybe not had shoots that didn't have grip. Definitely not talking about myself. Sometimes the grip is lost, and speaking of grip being lost, it's going to be Ryan Yee getting taken out there. Hopefully unintentionally by Nicholas Alvarado, who actually is slowing down. So that must have been an issue. Alvarado saying, hey man, that was an accident. That is not how I take positions. Going to give it back. Excellent sportsmanship there. I mean, how often do you go into a pub, for example, and someone takes you out and they just leave?
Yeah, this is what we like to see in OOR there, receiving the position back, knowing that he caused the mistake there. Just a bit of a spicy move that was going to try to pay out, but unfortunately didn't work out for him exactly here.
That was a very ambitious send by Alvarado from Ryan Yee in Druids, but I mean the winner there really is Tommy Flamger, gaining 2 places because of that.
He definitely benefited from that, as we see Justin Friesen going down the inside of Dave Hasser. But it looks like Hasser's not quite done. Friesen runs wide and is going to lose some time, so Hasser regaining that position, but Hasser going wide. So now Friesen's going to get that position, and it looks like as though the Ferrari driver is going to keep it. For now, Dave getting the worst of that second slip, so he lost some more time there, and now Friesen just looking to pull away. Thomas Pierce, though, getting ready to line up a move here with Renato Dornelis. These two have run pretty well, and speaking of running well, it's going to be a bump into the side. I think I saw Dornelis there lose the Porsche a little bit, came back on track, and unfortunately he found a Ferrari in the way, so he's going to drop down into 6th position. That is definitely not what you want in your race. He's still doing well for himself, but unfortunately, things have not gone north. They've only gone south.
And Carpenter picked up quite a few positions here. Now he's in 5th, right? I believe he started below 10th, or on 10th. So that's pretty good job for him.
Yeah, I mean, after that spin after that hit of Thomas Pierce to Renato Dornelis, I mean, Brian Walker is getting away from Thomas Pierce right now, 4.4 seconds. I think with 19 minutes left in this race, I think if he can pull the win out of his ass, he's gonna get it.
Definitely.
We got Timothy Flomger, Ryan Yee going around back marker Christian Holmes, who I believe pitted early, might have been on wet tires, and wet tires on anything more than a wet track is probably not the position you want to go for. H. Lupo saying Walker is on wets. That if I forget keybinds because I have the memory of a rock. We should see here. No, he is on dries. Oh no, that's Frizza we're looking at. Walker is on wets. So that's very interesting. He was doing quite well, but as this track dries, yeah, you see him pulling off onto the side there. He's trying to keep those tires, keep those temps down. I know how it feels firsthand to be on wet tires on a dry track. You can't even brake. It's like you don't even have them to begin with. So a lot of these drivers, though, as you can tell, Alvarado's still on wet, so he'll probably be looking to pit here very shortly. Kogan also on dries, Frizza on dries, Clifford on dries, Spangler on dries, Weeks on dries. Yeah, it looks like everybody's on dries here. Perhaps maybe the original call for a lot of these drivers was wets, and at the start of the race that might have made sense, but as this has gone on, well, it doesn't really seem to do much with a drying track. Yeah, you see Walker, though, passing up the pits. So it's a question of, well, how toasty are those tires getting?
I would suspect pretty hot here. Pierce has gained about a second a lap here in the last two. It's kind of, I guess, the people that were on dries early on had some trouble with grip, but now it's coming back into their race hand here, and they're starting to perform better as we see a couple cars spinning off. Pierce ends up getting in the mess here, as well as Ryan Yee. Oh, that looked a little chaotic as he comes onto the racetrack.
Oh boy,
in a very bad,
big hit
way.
Big hit there. That is Carpenter going into Pierce, your pole sitter. Unfortunately, looking like he may need to be sitting in the pits here. As he pulls off, he might have some terrible damage. But because of that, it's actually going to be Walker getting the best of that. That's going to open up a gap, though. For him, now about 5.2, it was just under 3 seconds. So that mistake has allowed him to pull away. But the question is, how long is he going to get to do that? There's about 15 minutes to go here as we ride with Flomger, who's looking to try to get some more positions. He's got a back marker to get around Nathan Specht as they come around to finish another lap. It's Specht into the pits, though. Looks like he's got some damage on that Mercedes, so he's going to be looking to fix that car up a little bit. But because of the back marker popping into the pits, that has given Flomger the open air he needs, so he's going to start hunting down Ryan Yee, only a second and a half back just about. So we'll see what he can do as this race develops.
Very interesting change of the orders here. Crazy what is happening as we see this unfold here. Ryan Yee, Flomger in a really good place for podiums there, as well as Darnellis and Cobra. Kenneth, as we see on board of Pierce, just going to see what happens here with him. Looks like he just loses the car into the grass and spins her, and then the ugly part starts happening here.
Yep, looks like, yeah, rejoin, and oh, geez, that is... I don't know if that might have been him just trying to get off the racing line. You can see that the track is just wet on the outside. On board here with Carpenter is coming back on track. Ducks to the inside, reacting to the stricken Ferrari, but, well, that prancing horse, unfortunately, getting the kick off on him before all was said and done.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
I noticed what the Ferrari did was like go outside, go into the racing line as he was rejoining, and because he saw the Aston Martin, he went away from the racing line, and yeah, I mean, that was just unlucky for the both of them, and more on the Ferrari side of the blame, though.
Yes,
We unfortunately.
Working on the back of Walker. Walker struggling on those wet tires as we have discussed here, so I don't think he's going to survive many more corners. Ryan's just going to get her done here soon and try to build a gap there. Walker, I think maybe he's just going to try to stick it out as long as possible, and you know, he's so far ahead of most of the pack here, and just recover by keeping those hot tires who are probably dying to death right now.
Yep. You see Ryan Yee, though, taking that position away, and he threw on the blinkers for just a second. I think that might have been a thank you. Daniel Hearn, car 131, getting a drive-through for an unsafe rejoin on lap 9. And we see Timothy Flomger trying to pick up a position on Walker, the slower McLaren, especially through these turns. We see him struggling as he almost goes into the back there of Walker, who is staying out on those wets. This is going to be quite the task ahead for him, although there is a 13-second lead there, or 13-second gap between these two and Medina. We just see, look at how slow Walker is going out of these corners. Those tires are just burning up, but we're going door to door here through Druids. But, well, Flomger has absolutely no problem. And the track condition is now green, so very much dry. We hop back, though. We got a battle brewing here going into turn 1. It's going to be Frizza and Alvarado, and it looks like Clifford all getting ready to battle it out. Here, going through turn 1, they were door-to-door for just a moment, but they all return to single file. It's Alvarado a bit slow there going into Druids. It's giving Lamborghini at Clifford a chance. Looks for a move down the inside, but it's not going to happen, though. Kind of compromises his exit, but he does have that slipstream as we hop on board here. Chris Frizza giving us a wonderful overview of the action ahead. It's going to be Clifford looking to go around the outside of the Honda, and he's going to get it done around the outside, and he's gaining a position. Clifford up into 8th, Alvarado down to 9th, and that's going to give Frizza a chance to maybe get a position here. They go down the hill and then right back up, almost into the back there of the Honda. Has to slam on the brakes in order to avoid taking out car 420 there. And they head around the track once again.
I think Alvarado is another driver who's on wet tires.
Possibly. They go through Sheen corner again. A terrifying corner, but one that is just incredible to get right. Jonathan Clifford, though, is well, taking the advantage he's gotten and is trying to pull away here behind. You can see the 3 waiting cars, Frizza, Spangler, and Weeks, all looking to pick up a position here. Alvarado diving to the inside, trying to get a much shorter line here down into turn 1. The Ferrari does have a bit of a slipstream as they go into turn 1. There was not a move. I thought perhaps Frizza would be a bit later on the brakes, but he wasn't. Alvarado hanging on for dear life to that P9 as they go into Druids again. A lot closer there for the Ferrari and Spangler and Weeks. They're all a lot closer here going into the next set of corners. And Alvarado is doing an incredible job here of just defending as much as he can, but unfortunately he's got a long straight coming up, and I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to Ferrari, they're known for one thing, and that is straight line speed as we go down the hill here into one of the nicest straights I've ever seen. It just feels really nice to hit. But for now, Alvarado staying ahead. Frizza once again almost into the back of that Honda. I don't know if the break points are different, but he is continually being caught off guard there. So perhaps he's going to look to move around this Honda at some point, because I think if he dilly-dallies a little too long, then Spangler will catch up, and Weeks and Philbin joining the party, although with that 10-second penalty. So we'll have to see Spangler getting an excellent exit there out of the corner on the bumper of the Ferrari, but well, the running order staying about the same. Alvarado a bit of a wiggle, and that's going to give Frizza the inside line as they go door to door down this start-finish straight, and it looks as though Frizza might be able to hold on to that P9 just about into turn 1, and yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean, we can see like Frizza just being patient, knowing Alvarado is in wet tires because of like how Alvarado is going around the corners, but I mean, just being patient, never going to that unsafe entry on the corners and dive bombing anyone. But yeah, Frizza gaining that place because he deserved it. He went for the proper overtake without killing anyone.
See, well, look at everybody. They're lining up. They're all waiting for their turn to take the Honda down another position here. So we've got Weeks right behind, ducking out. We've got Spangler going around the outside. That's another position for him as we see Philbin trying to go for a move, and unfortunately that move is into the rear right corner panel of the Lamborghini of Weeks. And, well, that is definitely not the direction you want to face. To see
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
as if Philbin's already got one penalty. It looks like he may be catching another one here before race end.
yeah, I mean, you can see really the battle going on because of Nicholas Alvarado holding everyone up. I mean, right now, even Alan McIver and George Martinez is behind Friesen and Nicholas Alvarado, just wanting to get ahead of Nicholas Alvarado right now. I mean, yeah, they would want to get ahead of this car that is on wet tires immediately.
Yeah, we talked about it. When you're on wets, those tires are just heating up. I mean, you could probably fry an egg. I don't know. Have you guys tried that? I know I have. There's it's an interesting taste. A little bit of rubber with your morning meal. As we see Justin Friesen, though, amateur rated, going down the outside of the pro-rated Alvarado, who gets pushed wide, unfortunately. McIver, though, taking advantage of that to gain a position, and he is P11 now. Alvarado just bleeding positions. Guillermo Martinez looking to maybe grab another position here as this race goes on. 7.5 minutes to go. It's Alvarado losing it onto the grass, keeping it held, though. So Martinez, probably one of the easiest positions of his life. And now, behind Alvarado, Justin Friesen, the driver from Canada in the Ferrari, looking to grab a position for himself. Why don't you?
Yeah, also I noticed that Mendina right now, after some laps, is almost behind Ryan Walker in the wet tires. As you said earlier, that Ryan Walker, right now Mendina overtaken Ryan Walker for third place. And yeah, Ryan Walker is just really struggling with those wet tires. And we can see right now going down the inside of Paddock Hill Bend. Who is that? Blue McLaren. Voisin with a 5-second penalty going down the inside of the Lamborghini.
Landry.
Oh, Landry. Is that Landry? Yeah, okay.
That
That's
was
Landry. Yeah, that was a good move going down Paddock Hill Bend. Wow.
Did not expect that. I'm certain those two didn't as well. He does have that 5-second penalty, like you said, so he will unfortunately get dropped back quite a bit there. You see your race leader, Ryan Yee, charging to get away from Flomger as quickly as he can, and Medina is nowhere to be found. Actually starting up another lap here. Brands Hatch. So I think for right now, the only person who is in any way, shape, or form able to challenge Ryan Yee is Timothy Flomger, who is just about 2 seconds out. Voisin, though, Frenchman, trying his best to get around this Honda here, but it has been quite a chore for him, as those wet tires definitely not being the best choice. Track still green, so those tires burning up. Tries to go for a move around the outside, and it's going to be bumper cars here. Alvarado getting pushed over into pit lane, will not go for it. So Boyson getting a position, Landry and Hasser and Nathan Specht, Colin Johnson, but I don't think that's going to come without a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, Boyson's gonna get another penalty right now. I mean, right now, just Roland Mendina, sorry, getting ahead of everyone in the Pro-Am category, just third place. And right now we can see that Colin Johnson, Dave Hassar, Voisin, and Landry is gonna be battling for 14th place, and all of them are gonna be thinking about, okay, how am I gonna get some places for this for the 14th place after 5 minutes.
I'll have to just see here. Colin Johnson, though, P17 at the moment. Probably not the evening he's wanted, but it's the evening he's going to have to try to gain points where he can. Just a reminder, this is a super sprint weekend, so we will be having 2 races per split. This is race 1 for North America Blue. When we go to race number 2, it'll be a reverse grid for the top 12, and everyone else will go out and qualify, so we'll see how that shakes things up a bit. What a view off the back of the 720S here of Boyson with his fellow McLaren driver trying to hunt him down into oh, I know these turn names, and I'm blanking on them right now, and I hate it. Down the inside, though, it's Michael Landry taking over the position from his McLaren teammate. And, well, they both have 5-second penalties, so it's really going to be a case of how many positions are we going to keep and how many are we going to lose once the race is over.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the last corner just Voisin going so wide and Landry sawing the window to overtake him.
5 second for car 88 is Boyson for dangerous driving, lap 16. So, well, not what he wants. We got Martinez, though, giving us a nice little view of the battle behind between the Porsche and the Ferrari there of, looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Renato Dornelis, who has fallen quite a ways. He was up in the top 3, and now he's sitting, well, one of the most unluckiest numbers in, well, as far as I know, all of the world.
Yeah, he's using wet tires, though.
Oh, right, okay. As you can tell, I have the memory of a goldfish. We got Boyson spinning, Dave Hasser, Colin Johnson in the back here. They're all getting all bent out of shape, though. Spangler giving us some action here. The Ferrari just ahead of Brizza is his target going into Paddock Hill Bend. Oh, looked like the Ferrari might have gotten a little out of shape there. That's actually going to be Spangler getting a better run there going into Druids, so we'll have to see. Casey, anything you've noticed so far this race? Here's so we might have lost Casey.
Yeah, I think he's struggling with some technical issues, but I mean, I'm still struggling. I'm still trying to comprehend. Where do you think Spangler is gonna be placing his car to overtake the Ferrari in the front?
I have no idea. I think it might be one of those things you sort of just pick a moment and you say, you know what? I like this one because, I don't know, it's right there. It is right there. Ryan Walker, though, under attack from Tommy Kogan. That white and pink Nissan getting the gray McLaren to struggle, and it's going to be Kogan around the outside there. That's going to also give, oh, that's Christian Holmes, enough back marker. I thought that was another McLaren, though. Christian Holmes, though, you know, a lot of these, you know, some of these back markers, you might look at them and say, oh, you know, it sucks being a back marker, but sometimes they can be a nice little overview for what's happening in front of you. We do have a question, though, from Ducky, a.k.a. Star Spangled Mangler, or not Jeff Spangler, I'm sorry. But Ducky says, what constitutes as dangerous driving? I believe dangerous driving is, I think it's weaving, as the rulebook states. I'm actually not too certain. It has been, well, it's been quite some time since I've had to read the rulebook. I think the last time I did was shortly before I started my Sprint Series debut. I don't know about you, Nate. When was the last time you read it?
I haven't. I already forgot what I read about the sporting code, but from what I remember, though, that dangerous driving constitutes when a driver does not hit the brakes when he's already spinning. So maybe that's the case.
Well, I did not know that, but now I do. So, yeah, we'll have to see how this develops, though. Jeff Clifford here, or not Jeff, sorry, Jonathan Clifford. A really good night for him. P6 there in the 999 car. So he'll be, if he holds this position, he'll be looking at, I think, also a P6 start there. Dave Hasser pulling off to the side. It looks like he has some damage. What happened there?
I mean, I think he spun in Graham Hill Bend out of the exit, going through Cooper Straight, and just hit the wall and just thought, I'm just done. I'm just gonna go to the side and just get out of the way. So maybe he did that. So yeah.
Well, better to be out of the way than on the track. We've seen that tonight. Unfortunately, you never want to see an accident, but these things do happen. Voisin, though, has a little damage on the front end of that McLaren. I believe he was involved in a bit of an incident earlier in the race. That does give Colin Johnson a chance to pick up some positions. In fact, he could pick up 2 positions if he can perhaps get this gap to Dornelis down a bit. Voisin with a 10-second penalty, and Dornelis as well. Actually, Ryan Yee, as we're talking, wins the race. It's Flonger in P2 and Mendina, excuse me, getting here down into the final set of corners as he's going to pick up a well-deserved P3 here. Kenneth Portis, the second here for Sausage Curb Racing. We talked about them earlier. Holding off the charging Nissan of Tommy Kogan. There's one final corner to go. Is Kogan going to go for a dive? He might. Later on the brakes there, but his car a little out of shape. At the line, though, I don't think it's going to be enough. There is a bit of a slipstream, and the lights flashing for Kogan, who is going to pick up a P5 there as the driver in front with a P4. Jonathan Clifford, though, making it P6. And it looks as though Ryan Walker with a P7, Frizza with a P8, Spang with P9, and MacGyvering himself a top 10 position here at the end. So for a lot of these drivers, very well. Friesen, though, I think we should note, amateur class driver, position 12. Seeing as he beat several pro and pro-ams, I gotta say, that's a very good result for him.
Yeah, I mean, this race clearly shows just by being safe, being consistent, it's gonna get you good points in good places.
Yeah, we got Anubis saying, come on, MacGyver, get that top 10 finish. You're constantly improving, my friend. And well, Anubis, it looks like he certainly has improved in your eyes, and I think he's improved in all of our eyes, though. But the drivers here across the line, so Ryan Yee, Timothy Flomger, Ryan Medina, sorry. Some of these, sometimes I just throw random names into other names. So if I rename you, I apologize. Ronan Medina, P3, Portis 4th, and Kogan 5th for your top 5. Clifford, Walker, Frizza, Spangler, MacGyver making up 6 through 10. So Martinez and Friesen as well. So that is going to be the reverse order grid. So Friesen, an amateur driver, going to be sitting on pole here for race number 2. So job well done to him. And the rest of these drivers going to be getting their penalties sorted out. But as we wait for the game to sort of catch up, I believe it's actually waiting on Dave Hasser to finish a lap. He is green, so I don't know. Maybe the game is still repairing his car, and it's waiting for him to get back out on track. But I think the game should already be counting down unless it's hidden from view. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's something happening. I think it's a bug or whatever, but yeah, something is really happening. But I mean, while waiting, I mean, I'm just proud of my friend. My friend is Alan McKeever in the Nissan in 10th place. I mean, he's really just been patient every goddamn time, just being safe, just being consistent all the time, and yeah, just displacing that Nissan in a proper way. Where right now it's just it just results to a good place. 10th place is really a good place for him.
Yep, definitely showing us that, well, he might be amateur class, but he is absolutely not. Or is he amateur? No, he isn't. Yes, he is. No, he's not. I was looking at the wrong person. I apologize. So, I'll tell you guys, sometimes my eyes work, sometimes they don't. It kind of depends on the day. So, as we get ready for qualifying 2, just a reminder, the top 12 drivers do not get to go out. They are going to be sitting in the pits. So everyone 13 and down will be going out onto track. So that is going to be the drivers of Landry, Johnson, Dornelis, Voisin, Weeks, Holmes, Alvarado, Specht, Passer, Male, Carpenter, Philbin, and Pierce will get to go out on track for qualifying number 2. Also 8 minutes. So we'll see how they can do here in qualifying. If you want to try to figure out where your favorite driver is going to be, if you're outside the top 12, just take whatever position they get in qualifying here and just add 12 positions onto it. You'll get your answer. But your top 12 reverse grid, it'll be Friesen on pole position, Martinez P2, MacGyver P3. So very good result for him. Spangler P4, Frizza is going to be 5th, Walker 6th, Clifford 7th, Kogan 8th, Portis 9th, Medina 10th, Flonger 11th, and Ryan Yee, your race winner, is going to be starting from P12, so he'll have a lot of work to do here. So out of these drivers, Nate, who is going to be the driver to watch, do you think?
I don't know right now, since a lot of like the pro drivers got caught out with the wet tires and some damage. I think Dornelis is gonna be up there, and also Alvarado. They're gonna be at the top of the podium. Oh, and you can see again a spin by Matthew Boysen in the second to the last corner. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at them because they're at the top spot in their previous race.
Fair enough. I'd have to say, I think Dornelis will definitely be one. He was out on those wet tires, as you said, so he's going to be looking to make some noise here. Christian Holmes, though, now very interesting part about this corner he just went through. So you see the red and white curb there. A lot of people, especially when they're starting to drive Brands Hatch, they think that red and white curb is the absolute limit, and anything beyond that is grass and will spin you out. However, that is not true. There is a space beyond the red and white curb that is considered inbounds, and I want to say it's about half a car width wide. So if you're looking to improve your times here at Brands Hatch and you find yourself struggling with, I believe that's turn number 3, or turn number 3, you can run a little bit wide off the red and white curbs, and it will actually give you a much cleaner exit. I will admit that took me way longer than I am willing to admit to learn, but I can tell you that my time certainly did improve here as I ran more and more practice runs.
Yeah, I'd like to add to what you said about going wide and the exit of Graham Hill Bend. So we can see here Michael Landry going into Druids and going again to Graham Hill Bend. You can see that you can go wider than what you think out of the exit here. But the thing that you have to do is to limit your left tires going into the grass after those red and white curb. If you go to the grass in your left tires, you're just gonna invalidate the left. But I mean, yeah, that every inch you can use before taking a penalty for track limits. But the more road you use in this track is gonna gain you more time, and it's gonna help you open up corners for this. So yeah.
We'll see some drivers. Well, some of these corners have that little extra bit of road. Some of them don't. Cornelius Streams saying it's James Mai. I always forget that. I know I had a notepad file somewhere of like all the names here I didn't know how to pronounce. I can't find it. I'm starting to think that perhaps it was a figment of my imagination. I hallucinated myself making all of those names on the notepad file. But yeah, we'll see how things go. Weeks here, partially phenomenal. Well, he's taking this corner pretty phenomenally. You see him just like that, running wide, a little bit wider or a little bit further. Those left tires, though, staying just enough in the track to be considered legal, so that should be good now. J-Rock has a cheering section now. Yes, he does. I mean, who doesn't have a cheering section? You have your own cheering section, right, Nate?
No, I don't have fans like J-Rock.
What? Well, you know what? I will always cheer for you then.
Aw, thanks, man. That's so sweet of you.
Definitely not saying that because you're my co-caster. Oh, goodness. Dave Hasser, though. P12 for this second round of qualifying at 26.66.2. Bit of a palindrome. If you take the one out, you just get 2.6662. So maybe, they say the devil's in the details. Perhaps he's worked out some deals we don't know of. Nathan Speck, though, running P8. So that'll be a P20 start. 126.195 was actually 2,000ths slower than his last lap. So if you want to look for some consistency, well, it looks like Nathan's got you covered. Not you, Nathan. The other Nathan. I should clarify.
Yeah, I gotta give a hand to him, man. Nathan Speck. I mean, he's the only Mercedes driver in this split, but I don't like the Mercedes that much because of like the ungodly understeer. And if you really want to get ahead of the understeer, you have to like hit the car like a freaking death trap. But yeah, I mean, you can see here Jerome Mai going too close to the inside of Paddock Hill Bend, invalidating that lap. Now he's gonna go to the garage.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Mercedes either. I tend to drive the Aston or the McLaren just because, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the driver's seat for the Mercedes is just so far back. It feels like you're in a different postcode. Again, that's just me. And like you said, it's very understeery, so you really have to treat her with care if you want to get this thing going quickly. Speaking of quickly, though, Alvarado's sitting in P5 at the moment, a 124.7, so that'll be a P17 start for him. Michael Landry, the closest person to that top 12, 124.06. So these drivers knocking on the door of the 23-second mark, but we'll have to wait and see. Ducky saying the Merc is 9 miles up of it. Is it 9? I thought it was more like 15. I don't know. We have a driver up there. It's Michael Landry, actually. So a little bit of a spill for him. I don't think he's going to get another lap, though. It's too far out.
Yeah, I really don't know. You can also see Nicolas Alvarado trying to take the pole for now. Because, I mean, he's one of the fastest guys in the split in the Honda. And right now, I think he's clearly thinking, okay, I have to get this. Oh, see, you can see it 15 hundredths of a second behind Michael Landry in second place right now. So, yeah, he's a one to watch.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for someone to watch for the Destruction Derby, he might have you covered. So he did have a chance for another lap, but he will not. So that does leave. Let's see who just crossed. Someone just crossed the line. Colin Johnson, P8. So that'll be a P20 start for him. I really wish there was a better way to get through all the drivers. Nathan Speck, though, currently getting ready to finish his lap here. P9 at the moment, a 25.907. That was his best and also his last. So we'll see if he can improve from P9. Unfortunately, will not. He will stay P9, and that'll be updated to 21st position as we get into race 2. Christian Holmes, I believe, is the next person that'll be crossing the line. Currently P6 with a 125.48. So a very good job from him. Currently P18 when all is said and done, and Philbin just behind, as well as Carpenter P3, and Philbin P7. So we'll see if the first of the two McLarens can improve. Christian Holmes from P6 and will stay P6. Looks like Philbin got a bit of an improvement, but it looks as though the top 12 here is going to be Landry, Alvarado, Carpenter, Voice, and Dornelis, Philbin, Holmes, Johnson, Specht, I almost said the 5th month of the year, and Hasser and Weeks will be your drivers getting at 12 positions added to their starting position as we get ready for drivers making changes. We are now in much better conditions. An optimum track, and it looks like nothing but nice, clear sunshine for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, most of the fast drivers are going to be capitalizing on that optimum track right now, and we're going to see a lot of fast times in this race since it's only a 30-minute race. So it's going to be a sprint all throughout. So it's going to be exciting.
I think we should call this series something like that, like a sprint series. You know what I mean? Like we could call it that because how quick the races are.
I don't think it's called sprint though. Is it called sprint?
No, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. But the drivers, once again, showing that these cars may have the air hose that gets hooked up so they can get the car up to change tires. And there's no air hoses in sight, so they're all just sort of levitating. Maybe Houdini is on the track right now. We just don't know. But yeah, I gotta say, I feel like the setup period, before everyone pulls away, I feel like that is very much as intense as the race itself, because you're making all these little adjustments. It's got a couple points of PSI here, maybe a little bit of a tweak to the suspension there. Aero as well could get moved a little bit, and you're also trying to think, what is everyone else going to do? So you're calculating your own chances of victory along with everybody else's, as everybody back on the earth there. So we should be getting ready for race number 2 of North American Blue Split. So as is procedure here, with the Super Sprint, the Maserati safety car going to barrel through 3 or 4 cars, as is tradition. And what is going to happen is the race director is going to be calling out car numbers for the reverse grid start. And as they do that, you'll see them filing out here in the position they need to be. And then once all of those 12 drivers are ahead and in their positions, the rest of the field will be called forward. The safety car currently sitting at the start of Druids. So we'll see if we can get a straight line here. I know in week 1 we might have had a little bit of trouble, but for right now, it's okay. Well, it's a little bit crooked, but what can you do? How many people are left on what? Says Ducky. I'm willing to bet none. What do you think?
I don't know. Also, I'm willing to bet none. Also, yeah.
I would hope it's none. I mean, you're looking at an optimum track, sunshine and rainbows. There's not a drop of water on that track, even if you tried. You could probably put a line of Flex Seal down and there still wouldn't be any water. So hopefully everybody is on dries. I haven't had the misfortune of starting a race on wets on an optimum track. But if I had to bet on it, probably not what you want to be doing.
Yeah, because that's what you really want to do at the start of a dry race, is putting on wet tires. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be spicy again. I think in race 2, since it's gonna be it is a reverse grid setup. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, since we're gonna see Ryan Walker, Jonathan Clifford, Tommy Cogan, or whoever behind the top 12, or whoever in the top 12 just getting what they want for their places. Because I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a spicy race.
Yeah, I agree. It's always interesting to see how these drivers cope with being in a reverse grid, and I believe we just heard the peep of Mr. Casey Gold, who has joined us once again. Casey,
Yes,
seeing as you're back, would you like to call it?
Sure, I can call it, but I was just going to say quickly, if you were on wet tires, you'd hopefully be behind Spangler in the flexes, because he'd be sweating out here. All right, as we come around the last corner here, the guys are going to be starting to go too wide, and they're going to be holding their throttle here, trying to contain that that right foot of theirs and keeping it under the speed limit. But yes, I will call this one. To come up to the line now, got Justin Friesen in the lead. He's going to be trying to outrun and run away from these guys in the back behind him, who are quite strong. Jeff Spangler getting a good start there, almost looking to get up to P2 there. Has to back off a little bit, as well as you got Frieza and Walker right there trying to get a good start here. Everything looks pretty clean so far through the first couple corners. A little bit of contact there between a Lambo and a Ferrari. But all seems well here, and yeah, we should be off to a great race. We got a couple people off in the back there. Ooh, very close contact, but no one's spinning. So these guys are feisty with this optimum track conditions.
Did we just see Alvarado go off at Paddock?
That may have been him, yes.
I saw, yeah, it was him. Him and looks like Carpenter currently sitting way down the grid, so it makes you wonder what happened there. I was looking at something else for the Sprint Series. I wasn't paying attention, but it looked like he might have gotten tapped though. Everyone else though getting settled in here, and I'm sure a lot of your race 1 high placing drivers are going to be looking to pick up the positions that they were I wouldn't say taken away, but oh, we've got an accident off though at Sheen Corner. It looks like 4 cars getting involved. Those are going to be Philbin, Dave Hasser, Taki's Weeks, all getting involved, and I believe there was someone else as the safety car, I believe, is pulling out.
Yes, sir. Deployed the safety car here the first time, I think, in Split Blue this season, is if I'm not wrong.
I believe so. We get some shots of this the checkerboarded Maserati, who's currently waiting for everybody to get around. We do see some drivers pulling into the pits. Carpenter is one of them. Weeks as well. Jerome Mai also pulling into the pits. So these drivers slowing down right now. The clock will still run and will still be technically green flag conditions according to the game, but these drivers have been told by the race director, hey, it's going to be a safety car, safety car, safety car, keep it slow. I will say that during this period of waiting, or during this safety car period, the OOR is very strict about driving conduct. If any contact is made, you will be severely penalized. I haven't seen it. I don't know about you two, but I don't know what the penalty is.
Can't be severe. I think sometimes they will give you a drive-through penalty for that, depending on what happens. But I think depending on what's happening here, it kind of seems like we have a virtual safety car tonight at the moment here. But we will wait and see as a couple of guys back there are catching up.
Possibly, yeah. Safety car still in the pit, so maybe it is a VSC. Yeah, looks like it. Safety car in. And we are racing again. Justin Friesen pulling away from the line there, trying to get the jump on Guillermo Martinez and Jeff Spangler, who were not expecting him to pull away so quickly. So Friesen, 26.5 minutes. If he pulls out this one, this will probably be the highlight of his season, but he has got quite the group behind, all gunning for their own piece of that P1.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Friesen, Martinez, and McKiver is gonna be sweating their balls out in this race, because I mean, they're in a spot where, I mean, they're gonna be defending with all their might just to maintain that spot, you know. So they're gonna be sweating.
Yeah, it's awesome to see though.
Track is 20, almost 30 Celsius, so perhaps there will be some sweat, and I think that's about 90-something degrees. I don't know, I only use Freedom units. But Friesen, though, going to be benefiting from the defense of Guillermo Martinez on Jeff Spangler, the Lexus driver, hunting down that Porsche. So we see a couple Porsches up front and doing what they can to keep that position. A lot of cars going through Sheen, and down the inside, it's going to be Walker on the Nissan of McIver, and also the fellow Nissan of Kogan getting very close. These three drivers making their own little chain there. Mendina, you seeing benefiting from the slammed brakes of Kogan. He's trying to go down the inside. They're going to go door to door here down the start finish rate for another lap on board with McIver. That back camera giving us an excellent view of the action here. Mendina, a slight tap there on Kogan, but he is going to be grabbing that position into Paddock Hill Bend. And just up the road, it was Spangler and Martinez getting a bit friendly with each other. But for now, it's Martinez under attack from Walker, who is looking to gain that P3. I mean, look at that camera angle. That is beautiful. Ryan Walker thought about the inside corner, but not gonna happen. New race,
as you saw the backfire there of the Porsche getting the flames in the camera shot. Ryan Walker, watch him on the brakes though, coming in the next few corners here. Pretty solid driver on the brakes, that is. As we are just continue watching this action, everyone kind of single file at the moment. Looks like Kenneth Portis had a spin out. He's way down the order and on the track right now, trying to get back going. Unfortunate to see that, but we got him losing out. Carpenter going right past. So those guys way down the order. They'll have to march their way up and hopefully gain some more positions to salvage this one. On board Tommy Kogan though, coming into the last corner, he's behind Medina, got past him as we witnessed the last lap there, and see if he can get back behind him and try to get past again.
10-second penalty for Holmes coming out here for an incident on turn 1. Guillermo Martinez getting a little bit too friendly with Walker. What an excellent save, and Walker actually flashing the headlights saying, what are you doing, man? Almost taking me out there. The Lamborghini of Mendina trying to go down the inside of McIver. We got Kogan there getting a little out of shape, but thankfully holding on to that position. The two Italian cars in the back, though, getting ready door to door, doing battle here. And it's going to be Clifford a little later on the brakes, though. Ryan Yee a little later on the brakes, pardon me. And he's going to keep that position, but now Flomger getting in on the party. He's going to have that slipstream there. And for a moment, it looked like we were going to go 3 wide down the hill, but not quite. Medina going on, sorry, Clifford going on the grass a little bit. He's going to lose that position as Flommer goes down the inside.
Nicely done by those guys, battling that close and no contact, no mistakes being had. Earlier we had some issues there, so these guys able to race side by side cleanly. It's excellent to see here. Mike Landry, I know he had a tough race one. I think he picked up a penalty, so trying to have a cleaner race here as we watch Walker. Ryan Yee is going to be starting to move up the order. He is such a fast, consistent driver here. Getting the move down to Tommy Cogan here. The Nissan very fast in the straight line, but the Ferrari not a pony, that's for sure, as he looks to size him up into turn 2. The dive bombs on the inside on the brakes. I know Ryan's late breaker looks to just get the move done. Tommy giving him the space, being very polite, maybe a little too polite there.
Well, position's a position. Up front, though, I've just witnessed it. Jeff Spangler overtaking Friesen for that P1. Friesen holding on for just about 10 minutes. So, very good job from him defending, or at least holding that P1 as long as he did. I assume that being amateur class and having pros and pro-rams in your mirrors is definitely a sight to behold there. Timothy Flomger, though, we right on board with, right behind the Nissan there of Kogan. He getting off the accelerator, trying to avoid going into the back end, though. So far, I got to agree with Nubis. A very competitive race, and you love to see it. A 5-second penalty for car 36 for an unsafe rejoin on lap 1. So as if it wasn't bad enough for Philbin, he's got 5 seconds to tack on to his final time, though. As drivers coming through here onto the start-finish straight for yet another lap. 20 minutes to go here, Brands Hatch.
It's been spicy out here. The guys getting a little bit crazy with the optimum conditions. They're racing super hard. Mike Landry there was trying to get a move lined up, but doesn't end up making it happen. He may have a better run coming up now as the guys ahead are starting to battle. Kogan defending there, a little bit too much of a tap, and Kogan spins around off the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, Flamger just putting that nose just behind Kogan's rear and just tapped him unexpectedly, and I think he didn't mean that tap. Just Tommy Kogan just shut the door to the inside going down 30s, but yeah. I think right now we can see that Ryan Yee and Alan McKeever is just, Alan McKeever right now is just staying behind Ryan Yee, just defending all his might in the Nissan. I mean, he's a good defender in the Nissan. I mean, I've seen a lot of pro drivers getting frustrated because of the Nissan being such a wide car. And right now, I mean, if he can place that car properly without any mistakes, any unsportsmanlike change of directions under braking, I mean, he's gonna maintain that pace.
Yeah, you're right. We'll have to see. Sometimes people are able to make these cars wider than they appear. And Dina, though, losing a position? No, not quite. What a move. Going to be Landry outbraking himself, and Dina getting to keep that position. So very cool head there out of the Brazilian to maintain that P6, although Canadian friendo Michael Landry not quite done with him yet. Timothy Blomger also letting himself into this party here as he gets an excellent exit, and now he's going to be going down this hill almost door to door with his fellow McLaren driver. I don't think he's close enough for a move on the brakes, not quite, so he's going to hold on, although he may look for something around the outside. Michael Landry, though, down the inside of Medina. It's actually going to be a tap there from one McLaren to another. Rona Medina, looks like from Flomger. Cars are all over his voice, and actually, who tapped Flomger in the rear end. Mike Landreth, apparently, getting
what a dive bomb move there. Flammer getting past Medina again. and a little bit more action in the back there. These guys are getting a little bit rough with each other, but everyone seems to be holding it together. No one has spun off track. They just need to calm it down a little bit here. We still got 17 minutes to go in this race.
Yeah, we'll look for moves later.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Alan is gonna be praying that this guy is gonna be battling so that he's gonna have a free race. I mean, P5 and everyone's gonna be battling behind him. That's magic. That's like one of the dream jobs to be a driver right now.
Just run up front with no problems all day. We see Jonathan Clifford though getting the best of Chris Prizza as he goes down the inside, and a bit of a shaky break there. Although he is able to hold it together, getting back on the accelerator, so he's going to start pulling away here from the Ferrari driver. So an excellent move out of Clifford. We hop up the grid here as we ride above Mr. Landry, who's looks like defending from Alan MacGyver, the Nissan driver, currently P6 for Virtus Motorsport. So incredible performance out of him as they begin, as they end another one of their laps here. 16 and a half just about here remaining on the clock at Brands Hatch for race 2 of North American Sprint Blue. Car 88 though getting a 10-second penalty for causing a collision. That is actually Boyson in the McLaren, the man from France, so that is not what he wants. He'll be trying to get as far as he can, and as I spectate him, he loses the back end of that McLaren, and he's going to drop down the order, unfortunately, but that's given a bunch of drivers another position. But for right now, Renato Dornelis running P7 with Timothy Flomger not too far behind.
The Ryans here just traded fastest laps. Ryan Walker was holding on to it for a while, but Ryan Yee just topped the charts with the new fastest lap there. 4th position for the number 7 Ferrari. So Yee looking to get up to his fellow Ryan Walker there and try to race him hard for the remainder 15 minutes here of the race. I'm sure they will enjoy that, as Jeff Spangler continues to hold that lead. Isn't getting as much on Justin Friesen as you would kind of thought, but so Friesen holding his own up there in P2 at the moment.
See Boyson though here riding on board right behind the Mercedes of Spect. Spect does not really have to worry about anything. Boyson with that 10 seconds, so even if he does lose this position, he will gain it back as this race goes on. So I think Boyson's plan of action might just be to stick behind this Mercedes here until race end. We do pass just about halfway here, although I do not think Boyson is going to follow my suggestion. I think he's going to be marching to the sound of his own drum as he does go down the inside of Spect, but that'll be a move for none, as that 10-second penalty looming over his head. So yeah, as this race goes on, a lot of these drivers getting comfortable. Spangler starting to pull away 3.6 seconds, and Friesen actually starting to come under attack from Ryan Walker, who has closed that gap from about 2 seconds down to half.
Okay, something happened right now. I noticed that Alan McKibber is behind Timothy Flangler. I think he spun coming from P4.
Oh, you might be. Oh, that's right.
He spun, yeah.
Not good.
Oh, I think he went just like that, yeah. Wow, something really happened there. But I mean, earlier we could see we could see that Nathan Speck is just struggling in the Mercedes because I think he has a lot of damage in the diffusers in the front.
I was gonna say his hood looks a little loose on that AMG car there, but yeah, Martinez number 717 there spun on turn 1 way earlier. He was up the order all the way down now to 20th, so that maybe have bumped guys all over the place. But Mandina right here, 9th position. He's got Alvarado coming, breathing down his neck in that Honda. So he's got his work cut out for him to try to defend from that driver.
Yeah, I noticed something also. Another Nissan is somewhere not supposed to be. Tomiko gonna get is in P17. Earlier, he was, I think, behind Mendina or ahead of Mendina. So I don't know what's happening, but the Nissans are clearly not supposed. They're not supposed to be there right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to struggle, having a bit of moments here and there. A couple drivers dropping way down. But on board with Ryan Yee, fastest lap. Now him and Walker up into the podium positions. And now they're free to hunt down Jeff Spangler. But I don't think they're going to be playing teammates here trying to catch him. I think they're going to be battling with their teeth and as hard as they can here for the remainder of the race.
With Sprint, you don't really have teammates. You just have other drivers in the way. It's a more organized pub lobby, unlike seasons past where we have had teams and may have had team tactics playing a hand. But yeah, right now Ryan Yee trying to hunt down Walker, not the same manufacturer, but the same name, giving them that little bit of camaraderie here. Ryan Yee looking to bounce back and grab another win here in the Sprint Series, but he's got to get around Walker, and well, Spangler just about 5 seconds up the road. That Lexus really just getting its legs stretched out as we get close to that 11.5-minute mark here, race 2. So should this gap stay, Spangler will have quite a comfortable victory to work with, but I think for right now, Ryan Yee and Ryan Walker are going to be the two drivers to look at. Friesen, though, popping down to P4 with Landry about 3.5 back. So Friesen's going to be looking to try and hold on to what he's got. And Ryan Yee, a bit later on the brakes, though, not going to be enough. He does have a slight slipstream, but I don't think he's going to be able to benefit from it as they go down towards Paddock. And no, he's not close enough, but he is getting later on the brakes, so perhaps Ryan Yee trying his hardest to keep this McLaren in check. He does pick up fastest lap again with a 1:23.6, so drivers have broken the 23-second barrier. So good on them for that. A lot of these top drivers, actually the top 3 drivers, all have a 1:23 time. Some of them it being their last and their best, and others it's their best, but their last is certainly lagging a bit behind. Ryan Walker, though, getting a bit of distance between him and the Ferrari, so he's doing everything he can to keep Yee at bay.
Yeah, looking like Walker's very good in Sector 2 there, and Yee is quite good in Sector 3, so interesting where they're stronger on the track.
Yeah, I mean, the two Ryans are just slowing down time just to capture Spangler. I mean, Spangler has been quite a boring race from the last 2 starting laps, and just being consistent, just being safe, and just putting down some fast times.
Frieza and Vision here dueling it out, trading places back and forth a couple corners, but Frieza just having to stay there with the driver ahead of him, having that 10-second penalty. Just can't wreck himself here. That's all he needs to focus on doing.
Yep, doing a very good job here. A lot of these drivers, especially in the reverse grid, have done a pretty good job of keeping things together here. Voisin, just not too long ago, gaining another position. So I think he's trying to get something there. He does go a little bit wide, or outbrakes himself rather, and loses that position. And yeah, look at that. Just not expecting the brakes of MacGyver, and that's going to be the McLaren way off the track. So those positions he gained going to be slipping from his grasp. Although he does maintain a couple positions here, thankfully. But again, with that 10-second penalty looming, I don't know how much he'll get to save.
Okay.
The McLaren earlier clearly didn't know how much we struggle in the Nissan in turn 3 in this track. It's really one of the hardest corners for us because we have to brake early just to not understeer and go wide through Graham Hill bend going out of Cooper Straight. So yeah, It's one of the hardest corners for me in this track in the Nissan.
Not relate. I don't. I should probably expand my driving pool a bit here. Tommy Kogan, though, currently P15 as he's looking to defend, and we've got Chris Prizza getting ready to line up a move on MacGyver later on the brakes down the inside, but there's not enough room for that Ferrari to slip on through. So for the time being, Alan MacGyver holding on to P11 as they go through Druids, hopping back. Colin Johnson trying to go down the inside of Tommy Kogan. It's not going to happen, Nate. You were just talking about it. The brakes in this corner with this car, it is a pain to deal with, but Kogan dealing with it quite well. Tommy Kogan, and Colin Johnson, excuse me, also looking to gain a little bit. We saw a wiggle there out of Tommy Kogan, so that'll give the Porsche behind a bit of ground. Nathan Speck, though, not gaining anything on that. He's still about where he was before. So these drivers getting ready. Austin Carpenter and James Philbin. Well, Philbin getting around Carpenter quite easily, as Carpenter did go wide at the top of the hill, so good on him for that move. That is going to be a position gained for one of the Aston Martin drivers, one of the most popular cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione, alongside the Ferrari and the McLaren. Even though there has been some balance changes, they still kind of dominate. Thankfully, it is not the M4.
A tear in my eye for Dave Passer, having just a mare of a race at the moment here, fitting that he's in the UK and just having a mare. You could use that analogy for how it's going for him out there. I don't know if the new VR headset's giving him a bit of a motion sickness here, but he's just having some trouble out here, spinning off a few times. But watching the two Ryans for P2 trying to battle that position out hard, fastest drivers on track, trying to defend is Walker, and has been doing a good job here, but with 5 minutes 40 to go, will he be able to continue that, as Ryan Yee is just on form tonight, performing his best laps back to back, and doing quite well out here.
Yep, winding it down 5.5 minutes though, so we'll see how things change.
I do think Ryan Yee is somewhat trusting Walker to just put in consistent and fast times to go behind Spangler. Oh, and we can see Ryan Yee going wide.
Commentators curse. We start talking about him and saying that he's doing well here. Ends up almost losing the car totally, but keeps it on track. And now he'll be trying to regain all that time that he just lost in that corner.
Yeah, I noticed like Ryan Yee in some of the onboards going down Paddock Hill, but it's the car is somewhat unstable on entry, and just he's trying to correct it every now and then. And I think it just bit him going down again through Paddock Hill then. So yeah.
And that's just what happens, folks, when you're on the literal edge of that car's grip and your ability, putting in that fast of lap too. I would never be that fast of a driver. That is too scary for me to be on that tight or little of an edge there, that just a wrong little mistake will end up sending you like it did here to him. But Tommy Kogan here, now caught back up to MacGyver, fellow Nissan, and now it'll be the Nissan battle to the end.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the previous Super Tycoon series in Japan, where it's all Nissan R32s. It's kind of reminiscing of that.
Kogan got the move done there, and now if MacGyver's gonna try to get back to him or not, but Kogan will just try to nail his apexes and his turn-in spots and just try to gain time on the driver behind.
Yeah, MacGyver's just struggling with that damage on the front, so I think he's just gonna be trying to stick behind Kogan right now and just stick with the P14 that he has until the race ends.
Probably a good plan.
He does have a bit of damage, MacGyver. It looked like his hood was a little bit popped there, but they're struggling. But Timothy Flanger doing well in 7th position. Even with that 10-second penalty, he's going to pick up a good result here. Just going to have to make sure he doesn't lose it anywhere. But good for him to keep his head cool and continue on.
Done pretty well for himself, given his starting position for this second race. He started off. Longer began the week, or not the weekend, but began this race in P8. So gained 1, but you know it's still a decent showing. You know, it's better to only gain 1 than to say lose 2 or 3, depending on who you are. But yeah,
Darnellis,
we'll
I don't think we talked about him all race. He's been kind of quietly sitting there in 6th in that number 3 Porsche, the purple and blue livery car here, defending from Flomger. And just we haven't really mentioned him. He's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, especially after his incident in race 1, tumbling down the order. He's done very well for himself, recovering post race 1. Qualifying, he did end up 5th, so going from 17th up to 6th, he's had quite the afternoon. So we'll see if he can keep that going as we get into the final 2 minutes of racing here. We should have, I believe, 1 more lap. Jeff Spangler really stretching his lead out as much as he can and using back markers. Oh, he's not actually. Ryan Walker, half a second. So Spangler, who's been running up front for quite a while, could potentially lose this position as they actually do come up onto traffic. Christian Holmes in the way, so hopefully he can get out of the way at an optimal time for both of these drivers. But I'm sure Spangler will be looking to have Christian Holmes let him through and hold up the McLaren behind there. But we'll have to see as we get onto the final lap. There it is. There is Christian Holmes getting out of the way. So now the final lap, Jeff Spangler has to hold on for another about minute 20, maybe minute 25, as we do see Ryan Walker going a little bit wide. The way Paddock Hill Bend is set up, it actually sort of throws you back into the turn. So, you know, you think you go wide, but you get back onto the road there. Ryan Walker starting to size up a move here, maybe. Pulls off to the side, just showing himself, saying, hey, man, you might want to start covering that inside. I might go left, I might go right, maybe just a little bit of psychological warfare here. There is going to be a bit of a slipstream going down the hill here, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Ryan to go for a move just yet. We could potentially see this go down to the final corner. We'll have to wait as they get just about halfway, a little bit less through this lap. So, as it stands, Ryan Walker looking to get a P2. Spangler currently on his way to a race victory. They go through Sheen Corner and still not close enough, but with a bit of an odd break there from Jeff Spangler, he will lose a bit of ground, and Walker also his back end of the car just stepping out. But Jeff Spangler putting it all together, stitching it up, putting a nice bow on the end of this race, and Spangler is going to win race 2 here at Brands Hatch. Ryan Walker in P2, and Ryan Yee picking up that final podium position. As a lot of these back marker drivers getting across the line. Michael Landry with a P4, and it looks like, where is Friesen? Friesen with P5. What a run from him.
0.13 by Dornelis behind Friesen. Wow.
Exciting final lap here. Well done to the drivers for entertaining us tonight, and Spangler, Star Spangled Man, getting the win. I like to see it, and that flexes. Great job for him. See Johnson coming across the line here, having to defend from Carpenter right at the edge of the line there. But well done to all the drivers. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Thanks, Nick, and thank you for joining us as well from all the way in the Philippines. That was pretty cool to have you. Enjoy talking with you, and thanks to Neil for broadcasting tonight. I'm gonna head out. See you guys later.
See you later, Casey. Thank you for joining us this evening.
See you, Casey. See you, man.
What a race, though. I mean, you got, like you said, that 0.1 difference. Dornelis almost getting the move on Friesen. Spangler picking up the win, but that's going to be the end of race 2 here for North America Sprint. So before we say so long farewell to Casey and Nathan again, we will take a quick peek at the timetables here for race 2. Nobody in the silver class this evening, so unfortunately the safety car. Overall, we've got Jeff Spangler, Ryan Walker, and Ryan Yee, your top 3 for that is race 2. Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the right one. I sometimes get a little mixed up. So Spangler, Walker, Yee, your top 3. Pro-Am is going to be Mendina, Kogan, and Frizza. And then hopping over to AM is Friesen and May. So very solid showing out of those 2. But for now, Nathan, I believe, unfortunately, you must leave us as we hop over to Red Split.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just here, just waiting for the new commentators to come in for the Red Split. But I mean, yeah, I just wanted to say that was a spicy race. Like the layout that OR is using for these kinds of like super sprints that has like a reverse grid. It really gives a lot of like opportunities and events to have like close hard racing, like what happened in our split in Split Blue. Yeah, that was just a really good race. I just wanted also to give a shout out to Justin Friesen maintaining that P5 for God knows what of time. I mean, what he did in order to gain those points, to gain that place. Also, he's also in the AM class, so good props to him. So yeah, I mean, since it's gonna be split red already, I'm gonna leave you, man. Thank you for giving me again the opportunity to commentate here. Thanks, Nick. Thank you, everyone. I hope the split red, sorry, is gonna have a good time. And yeah, thanks, Neil, again. See you, man.
See you later, Nathan. Thank you for joining us as we get the new projector there for OOR. Just a little glitch there. But yes, congrats to our race winners there for Blue Split, showing us that, you know what, every split is going to be able to produce some action here. So for now, it's going to be just me in the booth as we wait for Ryan Yee and Jeff Spangler to join us here this evening. Again, going to be having 2 races here, Super Sprint, so we're just getting everybody warmed up here for the first round of North American Red Split. And actually, as I say that, we're going to hop right into qualifying, so we'll be seeing who can do what with the time they are given here in the qualifying session. A lot of these drivers just getting out right away. They're not wasting any time. May, welcome to the stream. Amazing race there, man. You know, you did pretty well, I gotta say. You know, it was nice to see you out there again. Ducky saying, "Wow, Spangler showed he can race finally." Well, you know, better late than never. Anubis, see you again. I'm off as MacGyver's finished for the day. Have a good one. All right, Anubis, thank you for popping in. Thank you for, especially down from the land down under. We do appreciate all the support that we get from around the world, not just here in North America, but in EU and in AP. That's right, man. You screwed up race 1 with the tires. Okay. Well, race 2 is a lot better, and that's what you can really hope for. You know, if you're gonna do poorly, at least do poorly in the first race so you can gain it all back in the second race. But yeah, for right now, all the drivers heading out on track. Riding on board with Zach Patterson in the Honda, so I believe he was the first person out on track. So he'll be the benchmark for the first provisional pole lap. Everybody out on their out lap. So tires should be coming to temps, tires and brakes, probably within this lap or so, but we'll have to see. It's the sound of the police. That is 100% correct there. Ike Guy, welcome to the stream. Says the Flexus. Yeah, the Flexus really showing us that it is not a car to be discounted. It is definitely more than capable of holding its own, especially in some areas of every track. But yeah, local is correct. Make sure to like the stream. trying to get the word out with OOR. Share with your friends, your family, your cats, your dogs, your neighbors, or that one person at school you talked to once in math class because you needed an eraser. Trying to get the word out with the OOR, make it bigger than it is already. As we welcome to the booth the Star Spangled Mangler with a Pangler, Jeff Spangler. Jeff, talk us through that race.
Oh, time to exhale. Take a stiff drink before this, obviously, of water.
What? Yeah, right, water, right. Yep.
Yes, of water, of course. Oh man, that was quite a chase to the end. I was dying, and thankfully it's not very easy to pass, and thankfully didn't leave him too much time. So very, very happy to get a win here. Always good. And looks like we have another race winner in. He's a serial race winner, but welcome Ryan.
I was on push to talk. Whoops.
Isn't that how you're supposed to do it?
That is true. I should do that actually. You're right. Yeah, because I have a button on my wheel for when we're racing. And I put the wheel away while we're spectating.
Good idea. So yeah, Ryan, congrats though there in the races as well. Take us through your perspective. Both races or just one race, whatever you choose.
First race, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of a gamble going on dries at the start because we didn't know what the weather was doing, and it was still cloudy and dark, which means the water may not have went away. But luckily, the sun came out. You know, the wets disintegrated almost immediately after 10 minutes. I got really lucky with track positions in both races. Like in the first race, I think both Pierce and Flavinger went off right in front of me in T3, I believe. So that was, you know, 2 easy positions. And then second race was just clean, I guess. Not much to say. It was just passing the traffic, and luckily it was never a problem.
Well, you certainly did a good job. We had a few drivers going out on the wets, and we saw that really fell off quite quickly as that race went on. It did start with a wet track condition, and then we saw it just go straight to, well, not what you want. But yeah, we'll have to see. So one thing I do want to note real quick, with last week's race, Gulzar was awarded the win after the collision with Snelltrain on the final lap. Snelltrain, unfortunately, not joining us tonight, it looks like. He may be just taking the night off. You know, nothing wrong with that. But for right now, it's Grant Klinsing on pole in the Mercedes, the 1:25.07, so a very good run from him. Gulzar about 0.05 of a second behind him. We got Ultimate Local with a question for us lovely commentators. What is the most unexpected corner in Brands?
Unexpected.
Unexpected. I would have to say, I kind of want to say Sheen, because you kind of, it's a blind corner. It's, you know, I think you kind of, like, once, obviously at first you don't know what you're doing, but as you get more and more to just knowing the track, I feel like you do end up with a better understanding. So I'd have to give it to Sheen.
Yeah, I also agree with Sheen. He has blind, and then it's off camber as well, which really throws a lot of people off. And then on the inside curb, there's this huge bump, which, if you're not ready for it, it can also spin the car.
Is that the downhill left-hander, like at the beginning of Sector 2, I guess?
It's the third to last.
Oh, no, the end? Okay. I gotta say, and I'm sorry, I don't have a map in front of me. I guess it's turn 1, 2, 3, 4. The downhill sweeping left-hander with that weird bump in the middle of it. Any left-hander that's sharp is blind in the Lexus with that giant A-pillar, so it's like, you just gotta get the feel of it. But after you drive it enough, I wouldn't say it's unexpected, it's just tough to nail, so.
Yep. Well, you practice these tracks, you get a little bit better, and well, before you know it, you're on your way to being a good driver, as we all aim to be here. Getting up on the final minute of qualifying, it's Gulzar actually on top now, about half a second ahead of Klinsing. 124.547, so car number 1 sitting P number 1 for the time being. Grant Klinsing behind. Wallet, though, 333 Lamborghini is within that 124, I believe, just enough. So 2 drivers in the 24s. Yeah, 24.985, so very, very close to it. And then Klinsing is yet to set a sub-25 time. So a bit of a discrepancy from what we saw in Blue Split.
Yeah, it looks like the conditions are more similar to I think it's the second quali because it's green on the track, which implies the rain has already come and gone.
Yeah,
I have to say, I'm kind of surprised with, I mean, I know it's only 8 minutes, but maybe they changed the how quickly the track changes conditions. I'm surprised that it keeps sticking to whatever condition it is for so long with, what, 25, 26 cars driving around, but I would have expected to see some faster times out of this this group, even on a green track.
Well, I mean, like you said, if it's, the track is, or as we said, it's green track, so that rubber does get washed away. So they are trying to lay down more rubber for more grip, for more time. But yeah, we'll probably see it in the race, though. Hamza Gulls are still on top with a 224 or a 124.225, so improved by quite a margin over Wallet, who does sit P2. Quinn Smith P3. That 999 Lexus, Klinsing falling down to P4 as we see Keith Briscoe getting it together here for the final run of the Mercedes. He is currently sitting in P8 with a 125.610, so he'll be looking to improve here for race 1 around the final corner, going down for this last lap here in qualifying across the line, and Keith Briscoe does go up 1 position, so it's Gulzar, Wallet, Smith, Klinsing, LePage, Ben Coe. Oh, I remember this one. This is one of the ones I wrote down, but I couldn't remember where I put that stupid notepad file. In P6, Briscoe 7, Patterson 8, Brook 9, and Cohn making number 10. So, gentlemen, looking at this starting grid of 24 cars, not counting, there is no safety car, so 24 cars. Who do you think is going to be the driver to watch?
I think I'm going to go with Mathis LePage, Pro-Am driver. I've raced with him elsewhere, and he's definitely developed a whole lot of pace. As you can see up there in P5, Porsche, it's a good track around this circuit, and Wallet, Smith, Klinsing, LePage, et cetera, are all very, very close to one another. So I think we'll see some good racing there, and we'll see if LePage can make up a few spots.
Good prediction, Ryan. What are your bets here for race number 1?
I think, judging just by the quality pace, Gulzar is gonna run away with it, but I think there's gonna be a great battle for P2 and 3, 4, 5, like Jeff said.
To agree with that. Nothing, seeing Gulzar pulling out almost 3/4 of a second over Wallet. I mean, that's just on a whole nother level. They might be in the same class, but there is definitely a lot of distance between the skill of these 2 drivers, especially at Brands Hatch in the cars they're in. But we'll see how the race goes. 30 minutes on the clock here as we get ready for the session to start. No safety car, so Red Split more entrusted to keep the grid the way it is. Not that Blue can't, but we get Blue Split gets the safety car. But 30 minutes on the clock here. 2 minutes after 10, Mr. Wallet. That is you gotta wait. The safety car is here.
Throw the flag, ref. That's a false start, man.
10-yard penalty.
Yeah,
number
5 grid penalty, man.
How would you call that? Would you call it offense or defense?
I gotta say, everybody's on offense here, so that's definitely a false start on the offense. No no big offensive lineman. So I mean, if you're a receiver out there, you're getting a false start. Yeah, gonna hear it from the coach. But anyways,
5-place grid penalty, offensive side, and everyone just kind of goes, we kind of are the offensive side, so do we just like stay where we are, or like what's going on? Do we let the safety car pull ahead and get 5 grid slots away, and then we then we go? But well, unfortunately, the safety car will not get to be so lucky. So we take a nice long gander at it. You know, I've always wondered, who is it that drives the safety car? I think it's one of those mysteries, kind of like who's the Stig, you know?
I was about to say that. It's definitely the Stig driving it.
I'm so happy we're on the same wavelength there.
I mean, does the safety car driver wearing white? That looks like a white helmet in there.
Maybe. Let me do a little investigation. Actually, let's see what Mullock says. No. So this is actually the default outfit in ACC. So I think you'll actually see it with a lot of drivers in OOR. Is they get the red suit, white accent with the black helmet, white accent again. So yeah, you see everybody dressed up as the exact same person. This is just for server and competitors' sake, just so that way we don't have any server issues. One such thing that does cause server issues is custom liveries, so I don't think it'd be too much of a stretch to say that the rest of the drivers' outfits would also be allowed. Ducky saying the safety car is by Ryan Garrity. Look at how slow it's going. Damn, that's harsh, but we don't have to worry about the safety car. We've got to worry about the start of race number 1, North America Red Split. It's Gulzar on pole, Wallet right beside him. Smith and Klinsing sitting up in the second row there. So here we go across the line to get ready for race 1, and we're green for the first round of. Or the first race of Red Split here at Brands Hatch. Gulzar pulling away almost immediately. A lot of these drivers taking out those poor plastic cone pylons there at turn 1 as they go through Druids. A lot of side-by-side, a little 3-wide in the back, actually. Sear, Rasco, and Multidini getting 3-wide through Druids, and everyone else starting to get the cars going as they go through turn 3. We talked about it last race. That little extra bit of land you get to use on the outside of the turn to keep your car from getting a poor exit. You'll see a lot of it here tonight as well. You saw it in AP and EU, and NA is no different. They go charging down the hill here. We got a long line of cars. Look at this. Every make and model you could want. We ride on board Andrew Sear and Porsche with the number 10 car of Pace just ahead in the Aston Martin. So the race start here going pretty well for these drivers. Andrew Sear a bit wide. Again, another corner with some of that extra road. And here we go into Sheen Corner, that blind off-camber turn we talked about earlier. But lap 1 has gone very well. And, well, Gulzar's pulling away, leaving Wallet, Smith and Klinsing all vying for that second position. But, yeah, great start from everybody.
That was definitely a very clean start. Luckily, Brands Hatch is super easy to be really aggressive and make a mistake and go off. So cool to see pretty much everyone's still on track.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out. Still the first lap. So 28 minutes to go here. So anything can happen. We do have this little 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 group, 7 if you want to count Briscoe. And then you've got Jeff Cohn kind of in his own little element here in P8. But I think the main draw for tonight is going to be the second position as Gulzar just putting the pedal down and going. We saw it in qualifying, 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths up on Wallet. So he is just saying, all right, hey guys, really cool what you're saying about trying to get first. I don't care. I'm going to start running away. I'm going to leave all of you guys in your own little world. Wallet, though, managing to pull away. Quinn Smith now under attack from Grant Klinsing, who's under attack from LePage is under attack from Co as they go into the final turn here at Brands Hatch, starting another lap here. The start-finish straight, more like a start-finish long curve. That cambered, just the cambered road there kind of makes it a little easier as we see LePage almost going into the rear end of Klinsing, although he is going to have that inside line for Druid, so this could be a position change as the two German cars getting very close to each other. The Mercedes, though, hanging on there to that P4, the Porsche getting pushed back into the Lexus. So we have another little group lining up here, the lower rear bumper cam of Klinsing, giving us quite the view there of that pretty pink Porsche. Little alliteration. Is it Wallet or Wheelet? It is Wallet, Ducky. I did not know that until very recently.
Yeah, that was some good racing up there through Druids. You thought that LePage was going to get the move done, but Klinsing, you know, very close racing, very fair racing. They just had the slightest of door taps, but hey, it's a contact sport sometimes, and then with a little tactical brake check there at the bottom of the hill to push LePage back a little bit. So very, very good stuff from Klinsing. I think he'll be looking to hopefully keep this race clean. I know he ran into some incidents last week that kind of pushed him back a little bit, so we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, I think here in red we might be seeing a little bit more action if these first couple laps are anything to go off of. This group forming very nicely, 4th down to 9th it looks like. We do see though LePage almost getting, almost losing that position. He actually might though, but hangs on to it using that little bit wider track he gives himself with that outside angle to keep himself ahead there. So this 5th position is definitely going to be quite difficult to hang on to, and that has given Grant Klinsing time to run away. So the Mercedes driver looking to either keep his position or gain one. We hop on board with Jeff Cohn, another Mercedes. So a bit of a contrast from Blue Split, where we only have one Mercedes, and we have I think 4 or 5 here in Red Split. As we see LePage going wide, and he's losing a whole heap of positions, 3 to be exact. So he's down into 8th place. So ran a bit wide there at the top of the hill. Perhaps just outbraked himself. And losing positions there. Keith Briscoe looking to potentially grab a P5 here, but we've still got quite a lot of time. And Jeff Cohen having to defend now from the Porsche, who goes wide, which does give, that looks like Tim Brook, that 8th place. So LePage starting to bleed positions.
Yeah, at this point it's probably about damage control, never a spot you want to be in. I, like Ryan, I started race 1 on slicks, and I'm glad I did, but boy, it was scary going there. At the very beginning I went wide, lost about 3 or 4, but it ended up working out because I put myself in, I say work out, you know, myself in a pretty good spot for race 2, so I can't complain too much.
I also gotta wonder how much this green track is affecting all these drivers, because LePage in the Porsche, maybe he's not expecting the slippery track, and maybe it's just catching him off a little bit too much here.
Possibly. The track is still green, so it is not optimal. The I guess the layer of rubber we put down got removed overnight or something in game, but well, as these laps go by, these drivers laying down the rubber, getting some more grip. Quinn Smith, though, P3 for him this race, as he is right on the back of the Lamborghini. And, well, as I say that, he runs a bit wide, loses some time. So Brandon Wallet getting a little bit more dash in that wallet there as he pulls away. Grant Klinsing, I mean, you can just see the gap there back to cars 5, 6, and then there's a gap to 7 and 8 actually. Tim Brook though getting ready. He is defending on the inside down into paddock from his fellow Mercedes driver. That is Jeff Cohn, who is looking for a move. LePage also in the mix there. Cohn pulling to the inside, outbrakes himself, and he is unfortunately not going to lose just 1 but 2 positions. Try to move down the inside, thought he could break a bit later, but Well, unfortunately, it hasn't worked out quite so, and he is going to lose out. As is that? It looked like Brooke slowed a little bit, and I don't know if he was just letting these guys catch up. It might have been a slight issue, maybe a little bit of a lift, but yeah, it's going pretty well so far for some of these drivers, and not so much for others.
Yeah, going through the grid here, we see 2 silver names. I believe I saw Mosley in the Discord earlier, so I believe Mosley there in 12th position must have gotten squared away by our wonderful admins, and looks like he is out on track, and I'm guessing Parks down in 23rd, another silver driver here, might also be a debutant this week. So welcome to those guys.
Good to have new additions at any point. I know, usually there would probably come a point in the season where you say, all right, more drivers, but, a few debutants, good on them. Better to get in late than to not get in at all. I don't know what the selection process is for the Sprint Series, but when I was applying and I eventually got in, I believe there was 300 plus applicants, and I don't remember how many of them got through, but to be part of that selected group, I think is something you should be very proud of, because the number of people trying to get in, it is very competitive. And then even trying to stay in, it's easy to stay in, I'd say it's kind of difficult to get out of Sprint Series through, say, dirty driving, because the drivers here, and just going from rookies to sprint is very much a delicate and deliberate process. The team really making sure that we get some of the best and cleanest drivers into the OOR Sprint Series. So if you're in the rookies and you're thinking about sprint, I would say go for it. I don't know about you guys, but that's my advice.
Yeah, it looked there like Quinn Smith, had gotten past Wallet. Taking a look at lap times, his fastest lap is just a 10th off of what Gulzar's putting down, and that's when he had cars to follow. Smith, that is. So we'll see now that he's passed Wallet there, if he can put the hammer down and maybe close that gap with a little under 20 minutes to go.
A lot of these, I think we saw, there was also, I think I saw somebody going slow. I think it was Tim Brook down the Mercedes. He looked a bit slow. Jeff Cohn, though, looking to get something lined up on LePage, who's looking to pull away a little bit. I think the gap has opened up a smidge as LePage runs wide, but Jeff Cohn looked like he might have lost his car a little bit going in, or going up to this straight here. So as it stands, a lot of these drivers getting very comfortable. Gulzar pulling away 6.6 seconds over Quinn Smith. So this boat has been a speed boat. Grant Cleansing, though, getting ready to potentially do battle here with Wallet as they end one lap and begin yet another here at Brands Hatch. Quite close there. Perhaps a little closer than it seems, just due to how long the Mercedes is. He does have that slipstream, so he's getting very, very close, but he's going to be backing out into paddock. So he may look for a move either down the straight or perhaps into Druids if he's feeling brave, but that's not the case. Wallet covering off that inside from the Mercedes driver. So I think Cleansing might just bide his time and wait until the dying moments of this race and then go for a move. So yeah, nothing much happening on track, so wait and see. Ryan, is there anything you've noticed so far this race outside of, say, Gulzar's absolute curb stomping of the competition?
I was actually just noticing, I think Brands is usually a mid-engine style track. You need all that rotation you can get, but it's a lot of front-engine cars in the top 10. In fact, there's only 2 non-front-engine cars, which I'm finding very peculiar. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I must not have been paying attention because I also don't remember seeing so many Mercedes in this split. But then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in the top 10. So maybe just looking at them on screen has brought that to my attention. But yeah, it is a very interesting observation.
I did not notice that either. I honestly, I don't really pay attention to what track favors what kind of car. I just sort of go out there and pray that I don't die in the process. I should probably start doing my homework though and picking the right car for the right track.
Although Ryan, I don't know if you may be able to answer or confirm this, but isn't the Merc in race car trim, the engine is moved backwards, right? Like behind the front axle entirely, I think. So technically,
Yeah,
doesn't that make
technically
it
it's
a,
mid-engine.
doesn't that make it a
but-
mid-engine car?
Technically mid-engine, yes, but typically we think like behind the driver's seat, right?
Right.
Technical correct, which is the best kind of correct, you know? I always see the Merc as a front engine though, just because, you know,
Yeah.
you look at the hood, it goes on forever.
Hey, pop it down into 11 to 12th. Debutant Mosley is perhaps looking to get something done on Chris Pace. He has been following him. Whoa, has a good run. Coming through there. That doesn't look like... Yep, wisely backs out. That is one place you do not want to force a move, otherwise you'll end up like Ben Barnicoat, McLaren driver in this last season's British GT, whose McLaren flew up the hill and over the tire barrier and basically into the woods. If you can YouTube that, it was very scary to watch. But what's not scary is this battle we've got going on here.
I think it's scary depending on who you are. Pace, though, he's getting pretty scared. That red-hot Ferrari, I guess you could say the bacon-colored Ferrari, is very close behind, and then right behind him is actually Brian Rasco in the Porsche. So these three drivers getting their own little group formed up. Mosley, you saw back way out into Sheen. I personally think it was a little too far, but you know, in racing, you never know what your opponent's going to do, as we do see Mosley go down the inside of Pace, and that's going to be the position gain for the Ferrari driver. Rasco trying to get a piece of the pie as well. He's going to have that slipstream from the Aston Martin as they plunge down the hill here. So we could see Pace losing another position, potentially by lap's end. We'll have to wait and see, though. He is dangerously close, though, and now Mosley starting to pull away.
Yeah, that was a nice... Go ahead.
It looks like Rasco had a good run out of there, but decided to back out. This third sector is very skinny, right? You can only fit like 3 cars side by side when you're not racing. So probably that's a big factor in a lot of these track positions too. Like we saw last lap, Mosley had to run on Pace as well in that same corner, but also backed out of it. So I guess that's just typical brands, right? You can't overtake because it's incredibly scary.
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult tracks, I think. I think it is. One of the most, or yeah, probably the most difficult track. I think it's just, I don't know, it's set in the forest, you only get so much to, work with. And Go almost losing it there.
Style points.
It's in,
it's tough because you got to bide your time through that middle sector. You don't want to get right up on somebody's bumper, not because, because of the aero wash, you understeer yourself off the track and then you're in big trouble. But if you can keep close and maybe get a run through that final corner onto the straight, that's probably your best bet at that part of the track if you can't get it done like Mosley did there.
A lot of sprint series, I feel like, is also just in general just waiting for a mistake or waiting to get a better exit out of a corner than your opponent. You still have points in a championship to worry about, but I think a lot more people are worried about just keeping themselves clean and getting those positions as we ride here with Sanchez, currently sitting in P19 with Andrew Sear right in front of him. Andrew Sear's last lap was a 27.365, and Sanchez was a 25.832, so I'm wondering if Sear might have gotten a little bit out of shape and lost some time. I'm certain that his previous lap time is not indicative of his overall pace here, because he's doing a pretty good job of keeping the McLaren behind, just a little over 0.2 back, although the slipstream could come into effect and bring the McLaren closer, as they round out this following lap. So we could potentially see Sanchez he's trying to wrestle that car through that corner. A lot of downforce on the McLaren. One of the best cars for downforce in this game, especially medium speed corners through paddock. You look at the car, it looked like he was going to go off track, but the track just bringing him back in. Sear defending that inside position, but that's going to give Sanchez a bit of a run down the inside, and unfortunately, Sear's defense looking more like a slice of Swiss cheese than a brick wall, and that is Sanchez up into 18th.
Damn, that was so good. How do you come up with these sayings? It's like Swiss cheese, not a brick wall.
I am going to be completely honest with you. I don't know. My brain just says, hey, we could try this. That could be a cool saying. And I'm like, I'm not going to question you, so let's go for it.
That is incredible.
Thank you. You got, it's like a little bit of a spectacle for me. I got to have fun with this, and, try to spice it up here in any broadcast, whether it's here in the OOR or more personal broadcast. But either way, have fun with what you do, and, well, you're never really going to work a day in your life, let's be real. P5, though, and oh, man. One of
This
these days,
motivational speech brought to you by...
Nick Amon, the last man to give you a motivational speech during a race, but who knows? So,
Oh, thank you.
thank you, race control. Cheese.
Speaking of race control, have we had a single penalty come in?
We have not had a single penalty yet, and
Somebody
Jeff,
go check on the stewards.
swear-
Bang on that door. They're probably sleeping.
Jeff, I swear, if you just curse this entire race, I will see to it that you are given one half-handed slap on the wrist.
I was about to say,
this is
Sam's
getting
not here
interesting.
for Jeff's commentary.
Yeah, I mean, we're all for driver safety out here, but, a few penalties, spice things up.
Stop and go 30 for
Ooh,
Jeff
ouch.
Spangler for attempted
Alright.
curse. All right, Jeff, you know the rules.
I'm a little surprised to see Cleansing back there with Ben Keogh. He was pressuring Wallet, but seems to have fallen back a little bit. I did check on Golzar for a Golzar curb stomp update, and looks like his best lap is a 24.3 and Quinn Smith is a 24.6, so both seem to have increased their pace to definitely to the detriment of Smith there.
But it's Golzar increasing the most. A couple laps ago, he was just about 10 seconds up on Smith, and now it's a little over 12. So Golzar is coming up on some traffic here, but that traffic's getting out of the way very quickly. Jeff Cohn still stuck behind LePage, and he's been back there for a while. The gap has been about the same, so these two drivers running very consistently, not only in the race, but relative to one another. And I think Jeff has been trying everything he can to overtake, but that Porsche is just a little too quick for him.
Speaking of Porsche, Andrew Sears has been in the pits for about a lap now. I'm not sure what that is about.
Maybe it was damage.
Just looking at his car in the pits, it looks clean. So I'm not sure at all. Maybe he's miscalculated his fuel and decided to just throw in the towel.
I don't know. I don't think he okay, so it looks like he had gone through, he went through Sheen and was turning on the short little straight there to finish or get to the final turn, and then he sort of was pulled off into the gravel pit. So maybe it's a technical issue, maybe it's a mechanical issue. It could be anything really. Hopefully it isn't anything too bad. You hate to see drivers retire out of this race, but yeah, he's been in the pits for a while, so he may be done for the evening.
Okay, stop me if I'm crazy, but there's 24 cars out there
crazy.
racing. Did Zach Patterson join this race like halfway through? Because we just cycled through him and I do not remember seeing his name on the grid, and we definitely haven't talked about it. Man, he's 10 laps down.
No, he's been in the race. He was here. He
Really?
started P8 on the grid, so what happened? So
10 laps down, he must have been sitting in the pits forever. I don't know why he'd decide to come back out, but good to see it.
Oh wait, that's... Wait a second, what? Wait, what is going on? Is Gulzar slow? Wait, is my... Okay, I'm losing it. Alright, I'm crazy too, Jeff. Alright, I'll see you in the...
Oh, there he
Oh.
goes. Okay,
Oh,
he
okay.
must have... Yep. What?
That's unlucky.
Alright. Maybe,
I guess that's a... Is he lagged out?
mechanic? Probably.
Huh, weird.
Alright, well, all sorts of strange happenings here tonight as we get ready to get into the last 6.5 minutes here of race 1 in North America Red Split at Brands Hatch. It is still Hamza Gulzar on top with one of the biggest gaps I think I've ever seen in the OOR, unless there was another time where he got quite the gap over everybody else. 13.2 seconds, so it has only gotten larger.
Yeah, but at the laps he's putting down, I don't see that gap decreasing anytime soon. Ooh, it looks like James Park went off somewhere. You can't tell. All the track just looks the same from from the top.
Definite
That's
case of
fair.
flappy bonnet there, so that's very
He's just
unfortunate.
cooling the engine, guys.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, isn't that how you're supposed
It's a
to cool
feature,
it?
not a bug.
It's a feature.
That's a feature,
Okay.
not an oopsie.
It's a happy little accident. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see though what
Speaking of
happened to
accidents.
Parks. Coming down the hill here through the turn, looks like he gets everything well
Turn,
for
I
the
don't know.
first half, and just the car
Ooh.
just a little too wide, can't save it
Ooh.
right into the barrier, and that McLaren is pretty upset there. So they'll be looking to go into the pits to fix it. Benko, though, a lot closer now on Grant Klinsing. He has been trying to reel him in for the last who knows how many laps, and it looks like he may be getting rewarded. And of course, because commentators are a thing, the second we start saying anything, he goes a bit wide, and all that progress he made has been squandered.
Sometimes you love to see it, sometimes you hate to see it.
Depends on whether you're looking in your rear view or out your front window. But a lot of these drivers, I think, are, settled in and saying, you know what, this race is going the way it is, and I'm just going to look to finish it out, so that way, as we get into qualifying, I can just start focusing on getting myself ready for that race. These top 12 drivers will be given reverse grids, so should things stay as they are, we'd be seeing Rasco starting on pole, followed by Mosley, followed by Davis, Brooke, Cohn, LePage, Briscoe, Coe, Klinsing, Wallet, Smith, and Gulzar. So,
Yeah, with no penalties, that's how things will shake out.
yeah. And Zach Patterson going out of the pits, only 10 laps down, so this will be the Patterson comeback for sure.
I was about to say it's another stop go 30 for you, Jeff.
Do your worst.
Jeff, you're supposed to treat penalties like golf. You want to keep it as low as possible, not as high as possible. I'm sure you could slip Mullick a couple dollars, and he'd be more than willing to kind of turn a blind eye.
Yep.
Switch in the system. Oh, Spangler wasn't. Yeah, there.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what, Jeff? You could go and support the OOR over on Patreon, so that way you could get your penalties waived.
Yes, I certainly could. Yeah, I did participate in the raffle.
Did you win?
I did. I won a Logitech wheel. Yes.
Nice.
Look at that.
Yes, you did. Oh my
I
god.
did. Unfortunately, with the state of global logistics, I am still waiting to receive it, but always happy to support OOR. And you should be too.
I'm not a Patreon member of the OOR. I should probably do that, or I'm a fraud in the booth. I'll be chased out. Mullick will kick my door in and chase me out of my own house. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't possible, but you never know. I mean, what can't Mullock do?
I mean, the man runs multiple PCs at one time to do this sort of stuff, so...
Actually,
I
you know what?
wouldn't.
You know what he can't do? he can't call the start of a race without there being a a collision and a multi-car pile.
That is true. Cleansing a
Oh,
little
God.
off track there.
He
We'll see,
agrees. He 100% agrees with that statement. Mullock, I want you to know that I do love you, man.
I thought you were going to say he couldn't leave Australia and come and find you, but I believe they recently opened their borders, so...
Yep. Oh,
Step
well,
one
guys,
down.
it's been nice knowing you. I gotta say, it's been a pleasure to be here in the booth, and Jeff Cohen trying to do his best to divert our attention away as he's trying to line up a move on the page here in the final lap of the race. Potentially another lap, depending on where Golzar is.
Yeah, there'll be more than one.
Oh God,
Golzar is
flying right now.
Golzar's way into his lap here, so there will be one more after this. But it looks like some of the cars that had just been kind of chilling in vague proximity to one another have closed up. As we're watching Cone here on the back of the page, I have to say, driving the Lexus around this track, this is my least favorite turn because it seems like it takes an eternity to get the car rotated. And then, almost no matter what you do, you get the gas down and wheel spin. And you can't increase the TC because then it's just, you know, holding you back even more. So, anyways, I'm done whining.
I was ready for more of the Jeff Spangler complaining special. I'd pay for that.
It's a villain origin story.
Can you imagine that? So why'd you become a villain? Druids. What? Don't worry about it. Okay. But Golzar here, starting the final lap, 20 seconds to go. And,
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
this man has been an absolute menace, and that is Cleansing. Finally losing that position. It's been lap after lap of holding off the charging Lexus, and unfortunately, Lady Luck decides that his time is up. So that is P5 for Cleansing, and already the gap has opened. This is exactly what Ben has been waiting for, and he is going to start his charge into a 4th place finish if he can just keep it all nice and neat and tidy here. One more time around Brands Hatch through the corner that Jeff does not enjoy.
Yeah, see
There's
that
the
little
wheel spin.
wiggle? See that little waggle there? Yep. Yeah, same with
Oh,
this corner
goodness.
too. Oh, he did it. He did it much better than I did.
Basically the whole track. That's what you're saying.
I'm sure pretty much anybody could find something to nitpick about just about any corner anywhere.
That's fair. But the man of the hour here currently, Hamza Golzar, started on pole, never looked back. 17.2 second gap down to Quinn Smith, and Golzar is going to make it 2 in a row here at Brands Hatch. Eduardo Sanchez was just behind him, and that's going to be a P18. Dario Maltadini, P19. Casey Gold is going to be P20. So Quinn Smith picking up 2nd place, and Brandon Wallette, all he did is going to be a P5 or P3. Ben Go making it a P4, and Grant Cleansing rounding out your top 5. Briscoe with 6th, LePage with 7th, Brooke with 8th, Cone with 9th, and Davis making it a 10th place finish.
So Cone lost out to Brooke there. I was slipping back. He went a little bit wide through Sector 2 and allowed Brooke to scoot right on by.
Excellent race, though, overall for everybody involved.
So with
Mosley
no
making it
penalties,
11. No
looks
penalties,
like we'll
too.
have Rasco starting P1 with our debutant Mosley right behind him. And I have to say, I don't know off the top of my head, where did Mosley start this race? That was a pretty good drive.
Let's do a quick check here going through qualifying. Mosley started P17.
Wow, yes, an excellent drive.
Oh, yeah, very good race for him, but it is going to be Golzar on top, Smith 2nd, Wallet 3rd, Co 4th, Cleansing 5th, Briscoe 6th, LePage 7th, Brooke 8th, Cone 9th, Davis 10th, Mosley 11th, and Rasco P12. So they'll be your reverse grid drivers as everybody else getting ready to go out on track. And I'll be right back. I have to use the little commentator's room.
Make sure you put the sign up.
Looks like the track has finally become optimum. So we should see some fast times coming down whenever these guys leave the pits.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say, I'm very happy to have hung on to that race, but I was very disappointed in my pace overall.
Yeah, I think towards the end, what happened? Was it just tires?
I think so. I made a couple little mistakes there, but it was pretty mistake-free. But I was hoping to run a few more laps in the 23s. But you know, I'm happy to have held on. I don't know how you were doing. You just kind of looked like you were gonna let Walker go and just do his thing.
Eventually, at one point, I was just distracted into T1, and I was like, "Oh, this one sign looks awfully close." And then I stopped catching him from there. But that was actually like what went on through my head. I was like, "Oh, this one sign shouldn't be here." And then I was in the gravel. Is that your first win, by the way?
It is in the Sprint Series. Yes, first Sprint Series win. Sam and I did win the spa race last year for the Enduro League, and
Right.
I've won a race in DRL as well. So not too often, but you love it when it happens.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
I appreciate that. Alrighty, looks like folks are out on our optimum track for their qualifying runs to see who will start P13. Looking through obviously Zach Patterson here, kind of an outlier for for Q2. We would normally expect him to finish in the top 12, but with his issue at the very start of the race, I think he's probably the odds-on favorite to start P13 here. What do you think?
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. We've seen a lot of pace from Patterson in previous races, and it's just unfortunate he had to disconnect at the very start of the last one.
All right, I'm back. So what have I missed so far?
Well, we were
Not much.
conspiring with Mullick about your ouster as chief commentator.
Bring it on. I'm ready for the challenge. Well, it's not even a challenge. Let's be real. It's more of a walk in the park.
I'm ready for this walk in the park.
Yeah, but it'll be really nice. You'll have to wait till spring for it to be even nicer because it's still winter, unfortunately. Supposed to have a winter weather advisory, maybe some snow, and then it's just been sunny all day. So thanks. Maltadini though on poles right now with a 25.7. So Patterson, never mind, 24.8. So we're starting to get the first laps in, and I'll just sort of shut up on these fastest laps until everybody can get through.
Yeah, that is one thing we were talking about while you were gone. Odds-on favorite to start P13, and I think Patterson's probably the obvious pick there.
Patterson's doing pretty well. Looks like some of these drivers either still on an out lap or starting their first flying lap or may have gone wide on a flying lap, so we'll have to start again. As we see Chris Stevens, though, P6 on the grid, a 126.7 for him. So decent start. That'll be, should things stay the way they are, that'll be a P18 start for race number 2, as that reverse grid does go into effect. As Patterson, though, yeah, probably going to be the driver to watch of this bottom 13. Maybe we'll see if he can finish higher than that as the race goes on, but that story, or that chapter, has yet to be read. Track
Looks
is
as
now
though we
optimal.
Yeah.
The rubber's out.
Happy.
There's a race between the last one and this one, you know, off camera.
Yeah,
That's where all the rubber came from.
Yeah, so little support race. Looks
like
like Patterson has bettered his top time here. Looks like everybody's almost set a valid lap. Duarte, Sanchez, Parks. And as I say that, somebody that I didn't get to did set a valid lap.
Something to note here too, this track is very short and has a lot of load on it, so it takes the cars like 2 or 3 laps if you include the out lap to warm up their tires, which means we may not be seeing people's fastest laps or the fastest pace on the car until very late in the session.
That is very true, actually, because a lot of the circuits we race on, laps are quite long, usually within, I'd say, like a minute 35 to 2, depending on the season. I know if we have spots, about a 2:22. I did mention this in the first split in blue. The next special event for the OOR is going to be a 12 hours of Spa, and I believe that's going to be April 16th through the 17th. 16th and 17th in April. I did ask Nathan, and I will ask you guys the same. Are you planning on attending, or are you going to be either in the booth or just watching the stream? So that's a question for both of you.
Oh, you said
Yeah,
Nathan. I was really confused.
ask the chat too, but you guys can also.
Okay. Hold on, I missed the day. What day was it?
April 16th and 17th. 17th and 18th, because Australia and all that.
Right. They're upside down.
Yeah. So it'd be 15th, 16th for us in the U.S. at least, and Canada, Mexico. So, what are you thinking, Ryan? Are you hopping in, or are you gonna sit this one out? And then Jeff, same question for you.
Well, it looks like my calendar's clear for that weekend, so I will definitely consider it. I need to find a teammate or two first, of course, but
Yeah, personally, I would love to see Yi versus the Titans of the AP splits that we so often see. I'm not sure. I have to keep some weekends clear. I'm getting married at the end of this year, so as summer gets here and spring, kind of ramping up stuff as far as that goes. But Spa always tempting.
That's awesome to hear, though, Jeff. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What's it?
Appreciate it.
Like? Well, you know what? Hey, maybe we get the NA commentators together.
I was just thinking that too.
You know what? Honestly, I'd be down for that.
Sure.
We call it the commentator's curse.
Yeah.
Like, as we drive along, we could be like, oh, like on our streams, just be like, oh, this driver here doing just so well, and then it's like, oh, they're in the wall. What? No, anything but that.
It's like we have a force field around our car.
Yeah. Others might be skilled at driving, however, we have words on our side.
We are given special powers.
Mentioning commentators driving, and Malik, if you're here and listening, I think we might have been on. Oh no, he's moved the camera around.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to have like an on-track commentator for a race. I don't know if OR's ever experimented with that. That would be so cool to get some perspective, check in once or twice a race, something like that. That'd be pretty nifty.
So what's your race been like? Well, I've been sitting at the back, so it's pretty lonely. But it's not bad. It's good. That would be really cool, though, to have a in-race. Oh, okay, we're getting close. Oh, that's a little too close. I think Duarte might be.
Are we supposed to infer something here? Like, what's going on?
No, I think I think it's like a metaphor. The reflection of the helmet reflects the soul of the track we're on. But enough about philosophical sayings and us trying to infer something out of nothing. We've made it through to the grid here of race number 2. So we saw Patterson on top, followed by Pace, Sanchez, Maltadini, Nunez, Jansen, Levine, Duarte, Stevens, Gold, Parks. And I believe that is it. Yep, that's it. So it's going to be Patterson, the best of the bottom tier, or not the bottom tier, excuse me, the bottom half drivers. So he'll definitely be someone to watch out for, as he will get demoted to 13th due to this reverse grid. So do you think Patterson might start to ramp it up and try to make a charge for top 10, or do you think he may be stuck in the back?
Well, starting 13th, I mean, we saw Ryan here start 12th and charge through the field. I think Patterson could have some similar success there. Just got to keep it clean.
Yeah, especially we saw in the first qualifying he was P8, if I remember correctly, which means his pace is definitely well enough for a top 10.
I'd have to agree with that. You saw it race 1, you saw it in qualifying, so he'll be the bottom half driver to watch for. And then as we look towards the top 12, do we think Golzar can make it another race victory in a row, or do you think he'll be stopped just short?
I think with how we mentioned before in the last race, it's incredibly difficult to pass here. I think he's definitely going to be maybe a top 5, but I don't think a race win is going to be up there for him.
Yeah, I tend to agree. If you're up there at the front, even if you're not the fastest guy in the world, you can get out to a big enough lead, and there's certainly no pushovers in front of Golzar. So I think he'll have some difficulty bullying his way around. But you never know. I'm usually wrong.
I'd have to agree with that.
Like
if
there
he,
won't be any penalties in this race.
Jeff, please don't say that. Please don't say
It's your
that.
third stop go 30.
Yeah, that'll be a minute if it does go through, but a temporary minute and a half. So as we see the safety car though pulling ahead, and the race director calling out drivers who are going to
new
be
guy,
lining
new
up,
guy,
and wouldn't you know it, we did
on.
not get a straight line. You see LePage in the back also struggling.
Abstract
All right,
art
well,
here.
I'm glad that I didn't get to ask the question of whether or not we were going to have a straight line, because before I could say anything, we have shown that no, we don't get a straight line. So
We don't even get a line.
you can. It is a line, just not a straight line. I will give we'll give Mosley a bit of a pass. He's debutant, he's new here, so we'll let it slide this time. But next time, we might not be so forgiving. But with Golzar starting P12, if he can somehow fight his way up the grid, it'll be 4 wins in a row for him. So that would absolutely be a sight to behold. He was sitting at 2 before we came into this evening. Following race 1, he picks up number 3. So this could be a potential 4th race win should all his ducks be in a row and all of his boats be watertight. But we'll have 30 minutes to see if he can get that Bentley as high as we might predict.
Ducky with a "Come on, Elliott" in the chat. I'm not sure if that was during qualifying or more recently.
Doesn't matter.
Where is Mr. Levine starting?
P20 for Diamond Dogs Racing. Don't use my name in vain. You can't tell me what to do, Ducky. I'm my own man. But
You have no power here.
Well, the drivers are lining up 2 by 2. The safety car is taking around a little bit longer than usual. Usually, safety car is gone by now. So, well, guess I'll. Oh, we got George Nunez hits. I don't know what's going on there, but safety car peeling away. So, Ryan, Jeff, I'll let you guys fight for whoever wants to call it. I'm gonna kick back and just enjoy the ride.
I will stutter hard, so you take it away, Jeff.
All right. As we pull towards the line, we will have a bit of a delayed start because of the reverse grid that we run. So we'll wait for Brian Rasco to cross the line. Race start has been initialized, so any moment now we will see the green flag. There it goes. They are off. Good start from Rasco. Looks like he's going to keep his position as they head down through paddock. couple little bumps there, but nothing major. Up through the bend, Mosley tight on his tail. 2 by 2, 1 by 1. However you count it, looks like everybody has made it through. Nunez trailing the field after said he was disqualified, but he is back on track, and they removed that penalty from him. Did you see something, Ryan?
Yeah, spin in the background from Zach Patterson, unfortunately. He hit Gulzar as well, so now they're at the very back of the field.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think we can probably safely say that it will not be another race win for Hamza Gulzar, but stranger things have happened. It looks like things have
curse.
evened out here. That would be the uncurse, so there you go.
Yeah.
I'm asking him to prove me wrong. Looks like everything is pretty much straightened out. I do not see anything too interesting at the moment. The field has thinned out a little bit. Looks like we've got a pack forming here with the first 5 cars, with LePage bringing up the rear there, and then another pack forming behind them. Rasco unable to get out to a substantial lead, so this looks like it is shaping up to be an interesting first couple laps. Mosley consistently fast up through there, maybe a little bump, but you know, what do they say about rubbing and racing?
Hey, this isn't NASCAR. I mean, these are some nice cars, but
Versus America.
no American cars in GT3, probably for the better, let's be real. But yeah, Ryan Rasco getting a pretty optimal start from him as he's starting to pull away from this pack that's forming behind. You see Nick Mosley doing his best to keep all these German cars at bay. He is surrounded on all sides by the German manufacturers, but doing well for himself. Tim Brook, though, joining up with Matthias LePage, and I just realized your 7 of your top 8 cars are German, with Mosley as the only non-German car, and then you have Ben Keogh, I believe. Oh god, I got it from the notebook file, and Brendan Wallet being the only drivers who aren't in German manufacturers. But so far for Deutschland, they're doing it's das gut for them. As we see some penalties coming through, we got a fastest lap, Briscoe or Patterson or somebody or anybody. I did see a 10-second come in for Maltadini that was causing a collision on lap 1, so not what he wants. So Jeff, what was that about penalties and not happening or something like that? What happened?
I have spoken it into existence.
All right.
Ben Keogh getting around Grant Cleansing, it looks like. Just a few spots back as he takes over 8th place.
Solid start for him, so it could be a car that could potentially charge up the field. We'll have to wait and see. It is interesting to note that both Patterson and Gulzar are chilling in the back. So this will actually be a replay of the start here. And we just see that was, I can't see what car that is. Oh my god,
that was Patterson, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Patterson just getting on the grass, and unfortunately Gulzar getting collected and almost collecting a few others. So very lucky to get out of that with no damage to his boat. As we see Quinn Smith picking up fastest lap at 125.175. So we're knocking on the door of the 24-second lap. And as I say that, Gulzar putting in a 24.49, just yoinked it away from Patterson. Patterson had just put in a 24.88. So we're looking at just about 4/10 faster with Gulzar. So maybe if Patterson gets held up by the cars in front, that could give Gulzar a bit of a chance to gain more positions. But Ben Keogh right now, all over the back of the Mercedes, he has done a fantastic job of getting that little Lexus up the order in pretty much both races here as they come around the bend. Still about the same. We fell back a little bit going into the turn, but made up all the positions. So we got this massive group, 9th through it looks like 2nd forming, or I'd say actually maybe 9th to 5th, because Nick Mosley has pulled away and is actually running down Rasco at the moment, and then Davis and Cone, their own little duo. So things starting to heat up here in this top 10. So we could see a lot of position changes. Actually, hold on, Nick Mosley had a bit of a move there off to the side on Brian Rasco, perhaps saying, hey man, I'm right here. You got to be careful. Shows himself again down the inside, forcing Rasco to go a bit inside, and it's actually, it might be enough. Mosley pulling alongside, but he does not have the favorable line here. So he is going to fall back, and that'll push him back into the arms of Davis and Cone and LePage, who are all looking for their own chance at the 2nd place spot. But actually, we see, who is that? Tim Brook going door to door here with Matthias LePage, plunging down the hill. LePage will be on the outside and Brook on the inside. He's actually going to pull ahead, so Brook, if he keeps it together through this corner, he will keep P5, and it looks like he does.
Yeah, great bit of racing there.
Yeah, it looks
We'll
like
see
we've
if,
been going at it the entire start of the race, so it's good
that
to
was
see.
a little close. Whoa.
That
Yeah, we'll
close,
see
it's all
if
it's been.
yeah, we'll see if Rasco makes another mistake through the middle part of the track here. Previous lap, Mosley got really close. Rasco was up 0.2 on his previous best, and so was Mosley. And the next time I look, he was down 1/10. So something happened to allow Mosley to close up that gap.
A slight wiggle. We actually have this 8, 9, 10 pack starting to form 11, and it's going to be Grant Klinsing actually into the back of Venkio, and that'll give Quinn Smith a free position, and perhaps Wallet might pick up a little more cash for himself as he goes down the inside, and he is. Brandon Wallet into the top 10 after Smith or Klinsing. What's up?
Wow, fat in his wallet.
Oh, God. Thick wallets, we love to see it. Jeff Cohn, though,
It's
trying to go down the
back
inside. Mercedes, this has been some of the closest racing I think we've seen all evening there. You see Nick Mosley starting to pull away, and look at this. You got pairs of 2, you got 3s, 4. I mean, everybody from 3rd down to about 8th, 9th position, all getting together as we do see some double side-by-side action. And that's going to be the Lexus of Quinn Smith going wide. Brandon Wallet might pick up something else as well going into Sheen. He does have that inside line. And it's going to be a slight wiggle there from Smith onto the grass, into the gravel, and keeping it off the wall. Smith gambling. And unfortunately, the house is going to win, and he is going to lose more than he could have wanted. So 3 positions being handed out for Brandon Wallet and Grant Klinsing as they make your top 10. And, Nick Mosley still incredibly close, going door to door down into paddock. Rasco is holding on for dear life, but I don't know how much longer he can hold on into Druids. He goes for the inside line, just trying to take the shortest line around that corner, and Nick Mosley slotting into 2nd again. How long can Rasco hold on?
I guess we're seeing the characteristics of Brands Hatch here. Just can't overtake. We see this large train that's been here since the start of the race, almost 10 minutes ago now, and it's still packed. It's still going hard.
Yeah, top 10 all within spitting distance of one another, basically. But wow, what a couple exciting laps there. I was watching LePage. He looked like he was about to start bleeding positions, but things just kind of worked out for him. He had a very good side-by-side through there. I forget who it was, but he kept his cool and still sticking around in seventh position.
Yep, solid. You know, like you said, Ryan, the characteristics of that small track playing into this train of cars that we do see a lot of close action, of a stark contrast from race 1, where it was more of just, you know, time attack, just getting these laps down until you get ready for race 2. And I think that reverse grid does play a part in making these races a bit more exciting as we see Steve Davis, a man from the land down under, currently sitting in P3, so very good race for him thus far. And right behind them, a couple more Mercedes. Jeff Cohn, a little bit later on the brakes, almost goes into the back there, and that'll actually give Tim Brook a chance to catch up. So we could see some more Mercedes action here, and that's actually going to be Mosley. Mosley going wide, Mosley losing positions, Mosley coming together with Jeff Cohn and Ben Keogh and Keith Briscoe all getting involved. It's going to be Matthias LePage. We got Quinn Smith getting involved. Everybody. We got drivers who weren't even there when it happened. And this has been an absolute disaster. Nick Mosley just a little bit slow there out of turn 3, and it is going to cost him several positions as he tumbles down the order, and he is P21. It was going so well for him, and now he has gotten the shortest end of the stick.
Ducky calling for a safety car. Safety car is still parked. And looks like Mathis LePage has unfortunately left the building after teleporting to pits. So, wow, that is unfortunate for Mosley. My favorite turn. It's my favorite turn right there. You get a little squirrely and it's game over, and unfortunately he just, wow, he came back on track like he was, the only guy in the picture. Obviously not. Sad to see.
It looked to me like he was trying to defend from one of the Mercedes behind him, but he just moved like too late, and the Mercedes already had some overlap.
Yep.
That was already down the inside, and just there was nothing that could have been done. I mean, slamming on the brakes, you can argue, but then you've got everyone else behind you, and that might cause a whole heap of issues. So I think that'll come down to driver error, unfortunately. So that'll give Brian Rasco a chance to pull away, as Steve Davis will inherit that P2. So this has been he's benefited quite well. So we get the replay. So Jeff, walk us through it.
Well, it looks like he just kind of started to slide a little bit, lost a ton of. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. He just blocked him. From the front view, that when it happened live, it looked like he was losing control and just swerved across. It looked a lot more calm, relatively, I suppose, than what I thought happened. It looked like we get a good look here, and he just, I don't think he realized that cone was right there. Too late. Fortunately, that seems to have broken up our packs a little bit, as Keogh and Mosley are in the pits for repairs or perhaps to retire from the race. But shame to see such great battling. Oh, and as we can see, late to the party, unfortunately, but makes no difference.
That was a completely separate incident too. There you saw LePage, I believe, running in the back of Keogh. I mean, that was just a driver reaction and a miscalculation, just from sort of everybody who got involved. But yeah, unfortunately, that does break up these packs. Ben Keogh in chat saying that was not great. I think I unfortunately have to agree, and several drivers getting involved, which is just it's not what you want. And Jensen, I thought he was going to go onto the grass there for a second. Thought he might have gotten Audi tinged, but it looks like not quite, as he does get around. I believe that is Nunez. It is, so he'll inherit that P12 quite nicely. So good job on him, and he's not done quite yet. Elliot Levine in front, and as I say that, a little Audi ting, but not enough to kill. So he's got some work to do. Still 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, Levine, Ducky saying go Levine. He's up into 11th place. Oh, as the Audi gets, we're not watching anymore, but he almost got rear-ended by that Audi, who's now off track, but back up at the front here. Looks like Ben is in chat, had the pace to win that thing. Yeah, I braked for the Ferrari spinning and got rammed from behind. Not blaming LePage, he probably just didn't see it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you're unsighted by what's going on up in front of you. Yeah, sometimes, you rely on the game to say yellow flag, but if you're close, sometimes it doesn't even let you know. So you could be in the zone and then just boom, too late, nothing you can do. So it's very, very sad when that happens.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
I agree with that 100%. I feel like I've had similar things happen in my racing debut, and I just saw, I think, that's Abe Duarte going around.
Oh my
turn
gosh!
4.
Oh, we're gonna have to go and watch this. Gulzar turning Duarte around and then getting just plowed. Gulzar plowed out of the way by Stevens. We will have to go back and hopefully take a look at that. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
this has been quite the race, I think. Oh boy, it's really
no
heating up.
penalties.
So, yeah. So thanks, Jeff. Again, really cool, awesome. Thank you. I'm sure you'll be getting mechanics bills in no time at all.
It's a classic Shrek quote. You know, some of you may die, but that is a price I'm willing to pay.
Ah, yes, Jeff Spangler, the man who plays with lives like their toys. We see Tim Brook here with an excellent shot there to Brandon Wallet in the Lamborghini. As here we get the replay of what happened. So we see Abe Duarte on the left there in the yellow Lamborghini with Gulzar as they go through turn 3. There's a slight lunge there from Patterson, and just, I guess, an unexpected move, almost 3 wide, and there's a bump from Gulzar.
Here it comes.
And bada bing, bada boom, it's gonna be Stevens getting maybe some not so planned revenge or avengement of his stricken teammate. But yeah, like you said, Jeff, you got the one tap, and then he just got turned and then turned back the right way.
If you look away for like 2 seconds, it's like nothing even happened.
There is no damage to the Bentley.
I am happy to see this pack forming again up front here.
Yep, Ryan Rasco doing a pretty good job of keeping the drivers behind. Steve Davis, though, potentially coming under fire here from Jeff Cohn. I think Cohn's been reeling in Davis for the last few laps or so, and Davis has been going what feels like back and forth relative to Rasco. He got pretty close a few laps ago, and then he fell back, and then he caught up, and then he fell back and caught up. It's just been a yo-yo for him this evening. But yeah, Rasco's been doing a great job keeping the pace going. He did a 0.2 second lap faster than Davis, who was a 1/10 slower than Cohn. So we could potentially see Davis getting Cohn subbed in for that P2 as this race goes on. I'm sure Rasco is glancing in his rearview mirror every now and again and just trying to figure out, you know, is there going to be a battle brewing? Am I going to have to worry about these two somehow working together to reel me in, or can I just sit pretty knowing that I should have P1 if these two start fighting?
Yeah, Ryan, if you're Davis or Cohn, what's your play here?
Let's definitely just take it as it comes. Because Brands is really just, you know, wait for the person in front of you to do something they weren't supposed to do or didn't mean to do, and then just benefit from that. So if you're Cohn, you know, if Davis makes a mistake, you get that P2. If Rasco makes a mistake, you still get that P2. But, you know, just hope something plays in your favor.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think a lot of racers, probably in real life, but in sim racing as well, get a little too caught up in the moment. You know, what's directly happening in front of you or behind you. You get, you know, stuck in your mirrors. You know, if you're me, you were worried you were going to get caught the second race. As opposed to just working together. You know, there is cooperation involved here. You know, you give respect to your fellow drivers, and you know, sometimes it's to your benefit to play nice. So yeah, if you're Cohn, you're sitting back here maybe thinking about working with Davis to pull in Rasco, and then, you know, let the chips fall where they may.
Fall, but we'll have to see if the game was rigged from the start there. Jeff Cohn getting all over that rear bumper of his fellow Mercedes, almost loses it, but catches it. Very good job out of him. I've seen plenty of people who have lost it going into Sheen, myself included, so good job on his part for keeping that Mercedes lined up. And he's actually going to be closer to Davis now. So Davis must have gotten a little bit loose out of the following corner. So you do see Rasco pulling away. Nick Mosley, though, getting a 10-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 8, and we were doing so well with penalties. Thank you, Jeff. So, and penalties, schmenalties. We've got racing here. Cone and Davis, Brook and Wallet, and you could even put Klinsing and Briscoe into that batch. And was that was LePage getting a penalty for a collision on lap 8 as well, another 10 second. So, yeah, some of these drivers, their races were going well, and now, well, not so much.
Yeah, looks like LePage had retired. I think he was a few laps ahead of the... Probably, I know there's a couple cars parked in the pits right now, so... 5 seconds, 10 seconds, goals are up.
Oh boy.
Should be seeing that here in just a minute. Probably expect to see something from Stevens for his attempt at driving heavy machinery there, pushing Golzar along. But we'll see. Stewards definitely had to be a little bit more on their toes this race, and for that, I'm not sorry.
Yeah, they got a break in race 1. You got to get back to work eventually, right?
Yeah, what are we paying them for?
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Shh. Oops.
Whoops.
Looks like Tim Brook, I believe, is getting past Wallet. Robbing him of... No, was he already in front? Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Wallet was in 4th. Brook got around him, and Briscoe's still trying to find his way around Klinsing.
Taking his lunch money out of that wallet.
I wonder how much was in there.
4.
4 entire smackaroos.
Just 4. No more, no less.
Nothing more. Just 4.
Just 4.
That's it. That's all they get paid.
Yep.
4 Robux.
Ooh.
I guess the winner's currency, but we do see Brian Rasco still maintaining the gap he has to Davis, and Cone getting a much better exit, so he's a lot closer now, almost going into the back there of Davis, going through Sheen, but luckily braked a little bit earlier than he should have, or if you normally drive that corner. So good heads-up play from him to avoid hitting his fellow Mercedes driver, as once more they round this final corner onto the start-finish straight here. And you have the third Mercedes of Brook there in the background, just waiting for his opportunity to take over, as well, giving us some outside drone action here, going down into turn 1, and Brian Rasco actually going wide, so that'll give Davis the lead here, and not only Davis getting through, but Cone getting through and Brook getting through. It is a 1-2-3 for Mercedes. We're so used to seeing Mercedes 1-2, and well, Brian Rasco fighting back, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to compromise his own exit. That's going to give Wallet a chance to catch up, but it's not quite enough. Brian Rasco showing himself down the inside of Tim Brook, but Tim Brook holding strong. So Mercedes 1-2-3, Davis, Cone, Brook, and then you've got Rasco in the mix, and Wallet as well, who's looking for a bit of a move. He's got that slipstream. He's going to pull to the left, down the inside at the top of the hill here, and he's going to get into contact with Rasco, and unfortunately, they're both going to lose out. Rasco across the track again, and Klinsing getting picked up in the mix, and we've got 3 cars getting damaged for the price of
still
1.
going.
Is that Wallet?
Wow. Wallet just got smacked out of the way by Smith there. Couldn't tell. Yeah. Oh, that was funny.
Sanchez
I was watching
getting hit too.
I was watching Wallet's onboard there, and he
Davis
tried
went
to
wide.
be nice.
Davis went wide. He's now in 3rd. Jeff Cone, Tim Brook 1-2, Davis 3,
Wow.
Briscoe 4. It's a Mercedes 1-2-3-4.
Shuffle the pack.
It's an
Boy.
explosion of action all of a sudden.
Ooh, that is a extreme case of flappy bonnet there. I would imagine that he will be, as he is, under fire already from, who is that behind him? Sanchez. Can't even put up a fight. Well, no, you don't have to put up a fight when your opponent drives off the track. Fortunate for
Ben,
Sanchez there. That was handed to him on a plate.
Okay, I gotta make a note. No, but yeah, Ryan, you're right. It's been an explosion of action here within the final about 7 or 8 minutes. You know, we saw a lot of just sort of single file racing. We saw it a lot in race 1, and it's certainly heated up here in race 2. Keith Briscoe running behind his fellow Mercedes man, Steve Davis. Steve Davis was in first place, went a bit wide, second to last corner, and unfortunately loses 2 positions. So a podium position, or podium finish rather, for him would be very good to walk away with. Obviously, he would have loved to have walked away with the win. But Jeff Cohn is absolutely going to be the man to beat because he has opened up this gap to Brooke. It's about a second and a third right now, so we'll see if that changes. Brandon Wallet getting a 5-second penalty for causing a collision. That was probably the collision we looked at earlier. So not what he wants this evening. But Keith Briscoe starting to pull up onto Steve Davis's rear bumper, so Davis has to keep him back for probably another, what, 3-4 laps?
Yeah, it's looking to be 3 laps right about now. See where Cone is. Looks like, yep, Cone's in position to make it 3 laps.
Ben in the chat with the pronunciation of his name. Ben, I was trying to fight the good fight, but I hear Nick say something, and then I just, I kind of lemming myself into saying what he says, so.
Think for yourself, Jeff. Come on. Listen, like I said, I had a notepad file. I remember making it, and I thought I put it on the desktop. Apparently, I didn't. So I know. Ben is one person I have to remember the pronunciation of his last name for, and there's somebody else. I think it was Wallet. I think that was also him. So yeah, Keogh and Wallet. And I believe there was a couple other people in blue. I could be wrong though, but I'll have to make another notepad file. So I mean, where's the harm in making that?
Think about the kilobytes it's taking up on your hard drive.
And those are very, very precious kilobytes. I am a programmer from the 80s. I am trying to save everything I can. But speaking of saving everything he can, Hamza Golzar trying to save his race. He's been slapped with a 10-second penalty as he goes down the inside of Nunez. Nunez has been doing pretty well for himself, sitting up there in P12 for quite a long time. An amateur class driver really showing us what these red bannered cars can do. No shame in being amateur class, but let's be real. I think we had one driver last week, or not last week, but the week before, who was promoted up to Pro-Am. I forget who it was, but we did have somebody go from amateur to Pro-Am. So anything can happen in these races. Keith Briscoe almost going into the rear left corner panel of Davis as they go up the hill. So I believe at this point we'll have 2 more laps. Jeff Cohn, there's a minute 50 on the clock, so he should be crossing the line with a little bit more than, I would say, a minute 30, or actually a little less, because he's running 124, like a high 124.
Close.
125. No, we may have another lap after this. It's close.
8.
And yeah, we're going to have another lap, it looks like. He's running a 124, so it's not quite done yet. There's going to be another one after this.
Yeah, 2 laps. Yes, okay.
Well, he can always lift like on the start straight and use that gap he has behind him of 1.5 seconds to shorten the race by a lap.
Actually,
he could do that.
Funny you mentioned that. Never mind. Things are getting a little spicy here. Pace getting a push out of the way by Patterson, who now has his sights set on cleansing, and I can't even talk fast enough. It's already over. 2 spots for Zach Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson making a great comeback, starting from the back of the field after that spin on lap 1.
True. Does have that 10-second penalty, so he could possibly be pushed back further. Let's see, if we go far enough back, I believe he would be
showing one for Patterson. I don't think he has anything.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Golzar.
Oh, no, Patterson.
Nope.
Patterson's up at 7. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize, Patterson. Please forgive me. Yeah, he's done really well that spin. You said lap 1 up to 7, so that just shows you the absolute skill and dominance, you could say, of some of these drivers, that even if they unfortunately end up in the back. Is Cone lifting?
Wow.
He went for it.
Cone's going again. He's
the
taking the
smallest little
victory lap. He's taking the victory lap here. He's like, you know what? Nah, we're not done until I say we're done.
I'm sure Briscoe will be happy with that news as he has one more lap to perhaps get something done against his fellow Mercedes. But as it stands now, it looks like the Merc squad might lock out the top 4 here.
Mercedes is only allowed to have 2 cars. What is this? Maybe it's the sister team. Sort of like Red Bull and AlphaTauri. You know, you get 2. We do see Levine though trying to go around the outside of Sanchez, but it wasn't quite enough. I think there might have been a little bit of contact that did push Levine wide. No, it looks like he just got a little bit loose on his part, but we need... All right, Ben, you don't have to change your name. I'll remember it. But yeah, we hop back up to Keith Briscoe and Steve Davis. Davis has been holding on. He was P1, went wide, and lost 2 positions at this exact corner. So it's going to be a question of, can he keep it together? He does. Not too much of a problem, but it'll be Jeff Cohn getting the final turn all stitched up nice and pretty. Put the bows and sparkles. Yes, sir. And Canada will sit atop for this race. Tim Brook at number 2, and Steve Davis defending for his life makes it P3 here at the end of race number 2. Keith Briscoe flashing the lights saying congratulations, man, as he pulls on P4. And Brian Rasco making it P5, Quinn Smith P6. It is going to be Patterson 7th, Pace 8th, Grant Klinsing 9th, and then I believe it's going to be, I want to say it's going to be Nunez in 10th, possibly? Yes, Nunez picks up P10 for an amateur class driver in this sort of setting. Yeah, and this is, who's that? That's actually a purple, who's that in the Mercedes going slow? Was that Klinsing?
Yeah, that's a great race from Nunez there. You know, you don't have to be the fastest guy on the grid. You just keep your nose out of trouble and be consistent, as we see Mosley come up to the line and cross it there. Definitely disappointing for him, considering where he started. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't all go your way.
No, not at all. So race 2 here concluding this evening at Brands Hatch. So we'll take you through, the lineup here. So overall... So we actually look to race 1. So race 1 overall is going to be Gulzar, Smith, and Wallet. For your top 3, Pro-Am is LePage, Cohn, and Davis. Amateur class is going to be Nunez and Gold. And silver is Mosley Parks and the safety car. So going over to, yeah, there it is, safety car, good job. And then hopping over to race number 2, looking at the standings. Overall, it's going to be Cohn sitting atop the podium with Brook P2, Davis a well-earned P3, and then moving over to Pro-Am, it's going to be obviously Cohn, Davis, and then Pace making up the black bannered cars. And then over to Amateur, it's going to be Nunez, who finished 10th, and Casey Gold finishing 2nd for Amateur class. And then over to Silver, it is Mosley Parks and safety car again. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to do it for us tonight. Some excellent races here at Brands Hatch. A lot of action, especially in the second race here. Next week, I believe, I forget where we're going because I literally just blanked.
Suzuka.
Nice. Suzuka. Ooh, we have not gone to Suzuka, I think, in the last couple of seasons, so that'll be interesting, seeing how drivers can navigate that first half. Twisty bit and then the very fast second half. So, gentlemen, any closing thoughts here?
The first half twisty bit. That's a very accurate way to describe it.
It is.
Yeah, you know, you say what you want about curses and whatnot, but definitely a much more eventful second race there. So I'm always here for that. Good to see some different faces up there on the podium.
Absolutely. Ryan, anything out of you?
I agree with Jeff. That was an incredible second race. Tons of action and all Mercedes podium. That's, I guess if Mercedes had a third car in F1, that's what we'd expect, but now we get it here.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. Well, I'm gearing up for Suzuka. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for stopping by on behalf of myself, Casey Gold, Nathan Villalonga, Jeff Spangler, Ryan Yee, and of course, Mr. Neil Alexander Mullick for running the cameras. We will see you in 1 week's time for Suzuka, for AP, EGU, and NA. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping in, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.